Hey everybody, how's it going? Clear the throat. Get my stage voice ready. How's everybody doing tonight? This fine morning, evening, night, depending where you are in the world. Can I get an audio and visual check on the screen? You guys should be able to see, like, now the introduction should be passed. You guys should be able to see the news headlines to your left here, as well as just the GJ chart on the 1 minute. We will be zooming out and doing some analysis. This was just something that was sent to the private chat earlier. So let me clean this up. And don't worry, I'll explain what this was anyways. All right. Revamp the volume, please. Is there volume issues? Hello, hello. Before we start, it's the same. I haven't changed anything from this stream compared to the last stream. Yeah, let me know about I just want to make sure everything is good before we jump into the analysis, so I don't start talking for an hour and then it ends up nothing was heard. Sometimes you can get in the zone. So it's only 1:40 a.m. Eastern here, January 19th, Tuesday morning. Okay, we're coming towards pre-London hours, German market open, and then of course London market open coming up at 3 a.m. Eastern. We are going to be doing some intraday and scalp trade idea analysis on gold, GJ, Euro USD, GU, and US30, and even looking at USD CAD, while taking a look at investor behavior, any economic data reports we have, any reactive headlines, as well as price action, market structure, and buyers and sellers strength. Before we start, I'm just giving people the opportunity to wake up and get a chance to join, because I just sent the stream link out to my social media. If you guys also want to do the same thing, just take this YouTube stream link, post it anywhere on your social media for anybody else who may be interested, and let's just wait about 5 minutes here. And at around 1:45 a.m. Eastern, we'll start our analysis and we'll zoom out and start looking at gold. I'll share my bias, what I see happening, and why. All right. Yeah, make a coffee quickly, that's the same thing I'm doing. But yeah, before we jump into any analysis or anything fundamentally and technical related, just make sure you look at these stream reminders that are on your screen right now. All right, if you guys have any questions or concerns, make sure you ask later on after we do all of our analysis. Any questions, make sure it's just related to the markets, right? Or anything that could be of value to you. Any way to contact me is there as well. And don't forget to follow all of the Capital Hungry free resources, which is a great tool for all of you guys, right? The Capital Hungry free Twitter, which is posting headlines all the way through the night and all day, as you can see here. You can even see like some of the trades I took, like I shared here, a screenshot of every single trade that was taken, wins and losses. The Capital Hungry YouTube channel itself with all of these live stream videos and all of the previous educational webinars, the Capital Hungry Telegram analysis channel, and of course these streams. So make sure you take the time before we jump into everything, because people always ask, hey man, after the stream, hey man, how can I contact you? Hey man, do you have any free stuff? Hey man, do you have any webinars? Hey man, can you mentor me? All this information you will find on these resources, these Capital Hungry resources, anything you need. All right. So before we jump into it, and for everybody that's actively listening right now, either in the private channel or in the YouTube chat, don't worry, I'm going to answer your questions. But before we jump into it, yes, we are here to try and put a risk into the markets for a potential reward. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to try and make money. but our number one primary rule and goal in trading is survival and protecting our capital, as well as staying as emotionally neutral as possible. So make sure to stay smart, stay sharp, and follow your trading plan, risk management plan. Focus on your long term vision, not your short term impulsive emotions or satisfactory desires. And by doing this, you will have the best opportunity to avoid crashing your account or doing stupid shit like over trading or over leveraging or trying to be a hero and trying to do things that are not realistic because you saw some Instagram marketer make $1 million on US30. You know what I mean? It's not how the world works. So let's just be realistic here, have a mature approach to the markets as we do our analysis and look for our trade ideas. Yes, we can banter and shoot the shit, but let's try to be as of use as possible while we do these streams and provide value. Okay, so keep those mental reminders in check. Okay, so before I jump into the analysis, I'm just going to quickly scroll the chat, answer any quick questions. Thanks, Steve. Thanks. Here for the I'm done. I'm personally done trading for the week. If you guys saw that heavy impulsive sell off on gold, that plus just gold overall, I was scalping and intraday trading when we had those very strong moves at the start of the week during Asian session hours, just because the volatility and volume was so strong. You can see like all the trades and stuff were taken there. So I'm not like 15K USD in less than a couple of days, and it's still very early into 2021. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm not going to be greedy either. There's been plenty of times in the past where I've been up a substantial amount and I just keep over trading and keep wanting more, and I end up burning through everything. So I feel like I've matured past that point and I've learned to pace my trading a lot more and not try to just be so impulsive in the markets. So now I'm just going to be taking a personal trading break for like the next week or two and just focusing on like providing content for the capital hungry private chat. But anyways, yeah, so don't worry, these YouTube streams will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What's up, guys? Can you explain the volatility index? We will be talking about the volatility index, Japanese yen, and the US dollar through our analysis. And don't worry about that and how I read it and what it tells me, what information it tells me. So I'll be explaining that shortly as well. Because this singular screen you can see here, where I have primarily the US dollar on display on an intraday chart, Japanese yen and volatility index, is one of the ways I observe investor behavior, because the US dollar and Japanese yen are safe haven currencies. So whenever you have mass market optimism, money is coming out of the safe haven currencies. And whenever you have stronger market fear or economic uncertainty, you see money go into the safe haven currencies, and these individual currency indexes respectively inflate, or you see a bullish move on them, right? So you can really use the overall structure and intraday price action of your singular safe haven currencies to tell you a lot about the market. And then, of course, the volatility index is in the name, but you have to understand the volatility index is reading the buying and selling data of only the US stock market. Okay, and specifically here, as you can see up here, it's the volatility S&P 500 index. So this is essentially the inverse, the exact opposite or inverse of the S&P 500 technically. And whenever you have mass short selling or people dumping stocks in the US stock market, the volatility index goes up, because whenever you have the stock market go down, this shows that there's more economic potential uncertainty and fear developing in the market. So whenever you have the stock market in the US specifically potentially going down, the volatility index will have an inverse correlation and go up and show market fear is higher. So a quick rule of thumb, if the volatility index is very bullish price action, bullish market structure, higher potential North American investor confidence is lower and there's more market fear. And obviously, if the volatility index is flat and relatively bearish in market structure and price action technically, then investor confidence is more on the optimistic side, as global equities itself are probably going to be more bullish around the world too. Okay? All right. Let me just answer these questions. Does gold move the opposite of the US dollar? The gold does not move, like, the gold does not have a direct inverse correlation to the US dollar, but it is impacted inversely because the secondary, of course, is the US dollar in that pair. So there isn't some type of fundamental correlation there, except the fact that you have what you're trading is gold against the US dollar. It's not XAU euro, it's not XAU AUD, it's XAU USD. So yes, on the intraday time frames, if essentially the US dollar is bullish, it can give a higher probability alongside other confirms that like gold is going to be bearish, or euro USD is going to be bearish, or GBP USD is going to be bearish, right? Safe haven currencies are just as it says it in its name. It's an area for investors to put their money to keep it safe during times of economic uncertainty and potentially hedge their investments. So your safe haven currencies are primarily the US dollar, which is the world's reserve business currency, the Japanese yen due to its debt structure and negative interest rates, and of course the Swiss bank and the Swiss franc, the Swiss franc due to the Swiss banking structure and a lot of the offshore money they intake. So Swiss franc, US dollar, and Japanese yen are the main safe haven currencies. Okay, so now let's jump into some analysis if there's no more questions about that stuff. One thing we want to understand is some of these key fundamental points you're going to see pop up on your screen. So you can see here that a lot of the US stimulus talks have been priced in, but with these stimulus talks and with cases spiking in the US, there has been potential hints at another lockdown to come for the US. We haven't seen a direct financial impact of this or verification of this, but these rumors are in the market. Overall, though, with all of the virus vaccine rollouts continuing worldwide and how markets are still fairly optimistic, we can see that primarily the US dollar, Japanese yen volatility index has been relatively flat, right? Like when you're looking at the higher time frames, and you can see here the volatility index. I'm just going to go on the 4-hour chart. Volatility index, I just like looking at it on the intradays, but it's been in this range for like months now, okay? But overall, bearish. Like if you just zoomed out and looked at the volatility index, you would see the structure is bearish. I'll primarily be watching the US dollar overnight and the Japanese yen, and similar idea where the US dollar's overall structure, even though it's having this cat bounce from these 89 lows, which this is 6-year historical lows, the overall structure is still very bearish. But I like to watch how the US dollar moves overnight because it tells you a lot about money coming in and out of the safe haven currencies, and you can use these for confluences on your other pairs you're looking at, such as like GU or Euro USD. So essentially what I'm looking at here is we can see we had this upside move on the US dollar and failure to break this previous price sensitivity area and higher time frame key level. We're starting to see some bearish lower time frame structure form where if we continue down on the US dollar overnight and have this impulsive downside move to correct this upside move to retest this minor bullish structure, right? That downside move on the US dollar solo will give us more confirms for potential gold, EU, and GU buys overnight. And we also have to understand that markets are starting to show that they're jumping back into that optimistic train where you can see that, yes, global equity markets around the world did this bit of a dip here, right? Like, for example, when you're looking at the German stock market here, let me just get rid of this yellow line. When you're looking at the UK stock index here, US Dow Jones, you can see we had these pullback phases at all-time highs and minor corrections or consolidations. But overall, the global stock markets are still far too bullish as market optimism is still holding too strong with all the vaccine rollout talks and the fact that a lot of the negativity regarding COVID has been priced in now, okay? One second here. So with that, if we see that the markets are going to stay optimistic overnight, we don't have any new fear, and global equity markets continue bullish overnight, and the US dollar continues bearish overnight, this is going to give us more confirms fundamentally to be in a GJ Euro USD and GBP USD buy bias. Okay. The only tricky thing with gold is that yes, gold is a precious metal safe haven, but the secondary currency in this pair that is it's being traded against is the US dollar. So that weakness in the US dollar is a bullish confluence on gold when you're trading it intraday. And something else we want to identify when we start to do some gold analysis now is that very strong impulsive move we saw to start the week, that like 200 300 pip dump, it failed to revisit previous lows, where at the same time gold on the higher time frames is extremely bullish, and we still have potential to play in this higher time frame range and go back up to revisit these highs since we failed to break these lows. Okay. Jeeve, did you call out those trades that you made? The gold sells were sent a week earlier. These were the higher time frame safer gold sells. Like we were starting to call gold sells from 1960, but as soon as gold broke below 1855 and we had that short-term US dollar strength, we were already looking to take sells on gold from 1855 down to 1772. But you can see we had a very hard rejection and correction at 1803 key level down the ranges. But our bias on gold since the start of January, ever since we broke 1855, has been taking advantage of the sells, and we've just been playing the ranges down since, as we do our market update webinars, and all those trades I took on gold at Asian session were executed based on key levels, like 1820 sell down to 1812, 1812 support buy back up. So yeah, everything gets sent to the trade. Everything gets sent to the private chat ahead of time. So one thing we want to look at here on gold, right, is the fact that the US dollar is strong, and even with this very strong rejection at previous highs, bearish pressure, and that impulsive sell to start off the week, we fail to revisit these previous lows or break below those previous lows. Okay. And then when we come into the intraday time frames here, and you just this is just the highlight structure. You can see from this peak after we broke out of this bullish market structure on the higher time frames that I was just showing you guys that analysis, right? And below 1855 down here, we were playing sells down, right? So below 1855, we were just using the key levels for sell ranges down. As overall on gold, sellers were in control with just having consolidation phases and printing new lows. And you can see we were continuously printing new lows, right? So that played out great. The sells down played out great. But what we have to verify now is the fact that this impulsive sell-off got mirrored in the exact amount of hours, in the exact same amount of price action. You had about 8 to 10 hours of sellers in control here in this intraday sell-off, getting instantly mirrored and corrected in the following session and day. So this looked like it was just a price grab for the big boys to get in at better gold buys. And now I am primarily back in a gold bullish bias as we have come back above those previous intraday lows. We're coming back above 1836 key level. We've had a full mirror of this downside move when you're looking at the price action, right? And you can see we're starting to create an intraday support and lower time frame bullish structure and support above 1836, as well as the US dollar is still weak. So with the fact that we're breaking above that bearish market structure, yes, we had this strong sell-off to create a new low, but it got mirrored corrected just as fast as you had the sell-off itself, right? And you can see that this order block in support that is being created back above the previous intraday lows. When I zoom out here again, see these previous intraday lows where the candle bodies are closing, and how gold is playing in this range for an extended period of time. you can see that we are right back into this range, creating a support and order block above that key price level 1836. So as long as the US dollar remains weak overnight, I don't see why gold can't make its way right back up to 1852, 1855 overnight and through New York. I would only be looking for gold sells at this point below this medium term zone at around 1834. And this is what we're going to see when we zoom in on the lower time frames. So with the fact that the US dollar right now is starting to wave off its strength, as you can see here from the and overall the US dollar still very bearish, right, on the higher time frames, with the fact that this impulsive move happened essentially at market open to start the week and got fully corrected in the same period of time, and now price is back above these previous intraday lows with buyers in control and in this order block above 1836. It looks like we were just creating that weekly lower wick and buyers were getting in from better positions. Okay, so we are intraday traders and scalp traders. Yes, gold can end up making its way up, but we don't want to rush our execution points. And right now, we just have pre-London Open right now, aka like German market open, and I want to see how this candle sets up as well. But ideally, gold, if we get a retest of 1836 again, I'm looking for continued buys. If we get a break above this medium term zone, which we just rejected now at 1841, I'm looking for buys up. And the safest buys are above 1845 to 1852, and we're going to see this on the lower time frame here. Okay, so let's go zoom in here now, and you're going to see, yes, this was a very aggressive. Yes, this was a very aggressive sell-off, right? But look at, even this was all within 1 minute, where you had within 2 minutes, gold spiked down, rejected the 1803 higher time frame key level, failed to break, had the following candle closed bullish and came all the way up to 1820 again. You had this whipsaw of almost 300 pips up and down, and spreads obviously spiked as well, as it was prior to market open. It was like just at market open prior to actual Asian session open hours. Okay, from that point, the sells I took were these. You can see we had this impulsive break, a low created, and then we had this rejection and price come and break and retest below 1820. I took the sells from 1820 to 1812, expecting at least I was expecting that at least if sellers are in control, we're gonna go revisit these lows. But if buyers are gonna jump in the market, we should at least get a partial range fill to get more buyers in the market from better entry points. Because it's extreme. Because yes, a lot of institutions can get in from this point, but not everybody who's trying to get in would get in from that exact entry point, right? So you had, yes, this strong sell play of almost 100 pips, but this lower time frame support formed and price come back above 1812, and then we started forming bullish corrective structure since then, and had a correction of this downside move. Okay, since then, we have been essentially respecting this bullish market structure. Now, we started to notice some exhaustion here in a break of this minor bullish structure, but that's not enough confirms that this is not enough confirms of a break. Why? Because we're still respecting the support and order block above 1836 higher time frame key level, and we still didn't break previous lows. That's why I would only be looking for gold sells at this point if we came below 1832 and had US dollar strength. Does that make sense? Coming below that intraday support, coming back below these previous intraday highs, validating that US dollar strength, validating a clean break of this lower time frame bullish market structure that's been respected, and coming below this price sensitivity area, we could easily take sells down the range. Okay, so I'm just going to type that out. Otherwise, I am in a gold buy bias currently. Just with the current price positioning, even when we come now and zoom in to what's been going on over the last few hours. Yes, we've had some strong sellers moves from these highs, right? or even when we broke above the key level. But have we had any clean breaks below 1836 as of yet? Even with some of these aggressive pullbacks? No, right? Obviously not. So as long as gold maintains above this price point, it could range for the next 2 days for all I give a shit. I'm still going to validate this as buyer side liquidity and buyer order flow coming into the market because we're still respecting bullish market structure and those key price points and not breaking significant lows. All right. So now let's zoom in here. All right, everybody. So before I jump into GJ, does what we're looking for on gold make sense? Because now we're just going to keep it on the lower time frame chart here. Primarily in a buy bias. The one thing is 1836 is going to be a decision point that we're going to be watching just because it's already a higher time frame key level, and you can see the amount of reactions we've had here. You can see the amount of reactions we've had here over almost the last 16 hours. So obviously we're initially right now in this bullish bias, and we're looking for either a pullback entry to 1836 buys, pullback and breakout above 1841, or safest breakout above 1845, looking to run back to 1852 key level and higher. Okay. But 1836 is a decision point where if we fail to break these highs and then during actual London and Euro volume, we break 1836, it's going to be verified as sell side. It's going to be verified as sell side liquidity, and we can start to take earlier sells from 1836, scalp sells down to 1832. But the safest sells on gold would be waiting for all of these confirms. Okay. I think with the trading view links, you gotta send like just the code part. How do I know Uncle Ted? Through the Forex family. Can you be one of my mods? No, you're too new to the private channel to be a mod right away that fast. Okay. So does everything make sense on gold? We're just going to be watching it now over the next hour, looking for these potential trade ideas to play out. and letting price action develop as well. And now I'm going to move on to GJ. All right, so who here has watched the GBPJPY webinar on the Capital Hungry page, or was here for like the last stream or even the stream before that? Is Uncle Ted joining? No, Uncle Ted's probably asleep. Okay, so as we were saying, yes, GJ has been having some ranging and like, but overall, it's still been in bullish market structure because the Japanese yen as a safe haven currency has been bearish, while global stock markets have been bullish, making our risk currencies a lot stronger, right? So overall, even though we've had some of these pullbacks, you can see that these pullbacks don't break previous lows or break the bullish higher time frame structure, and these dips end up getting bought up by the buyers with potential to go revisit previous highs, right? So we can see a similar pattern here. We had new highs created by buyers. This pullback is not a sell trend or a massive sell off. It is the reaction of these buyers who are in from lows extending to new intraday highs, closing their positions, and sellers jumping in hand to relieve them out. What you want to validate to show that if it's a potential sell trend or coming into a sell trend is any break of previous lows or any break of the bullish market structure. So you can see as we zoom in on the time frames, when you come into like the 30-minute here, what the fuck, man? We had a similar sequence of events where after GJ had buyers peak previous intraday highs, we had a pullback phase created, failed to break previous lows or revisit previous lows. This was around the 0.5, 0.200 to 0.500 psychological price level. And then buyers jump back in the market and you could validate that break of structure on the lower time frame. Here was no different. We had new highs created by buyers who were in from this dip, right? Or even in lower from positional perspectives. Intraday's highs created, right? Buyers exit out positions, create this pullback and corrective structure, fail to break previous lows, buyers jump back in the market, and now we are starting to break out of this lower time frame structure as well as using our key levels as support. So you can see here, if we zoom out, on the lower time frame is where you can see the reactions the best at specific price point sensitivity areas. And for about, oh, sorry, that's the wrong tool. And for about 4 days or half a week after GJ peaked those highs, we had this bearish market structure with sellers in control. So we are primarily just looking for breaks below psychological price levels and retest of the bearish structure and continued sells until we came down to this price point last night, which was revisiting those previous intraday lows to the left. Okay? You get what I'm saying? So now what we can also see and start to validate is sellers who are in playing that corrective structure, exhausting and exiting out of the market. And we can confirm that with a shift in the lower time frame structure. So we're getting a break above this bearish structure, a break above these previous 1 minute price sensitivity areas in 140.8, the development of bullish market structure, and like our key levels now being used as support. Okay, so with our current price point that GJ is sitting at, you can see we are getting some very solid reaction and exhaustion by buyers at 0.500, but still this is just forming an order block here where we're going to have to watch these candle body highs and lows accordingly. Now when I'm looking at GJ, I am primarily in a bullish bias now, and what I'm looking at is these potential trade, and I would only be looking for safe sells below 141.200. We don't have any UK economic data. We still have some potential of reviewing COVID restrictions mid-February from the UK North Ireland minister. Just some reactive headlines right now that could possibly give us a pullback. But other than that, you can see we're sort of in this 1 minute range here between these candle body highs and lows, starting to create a consolidation zone and liquidity order block. Okay. If we break below these 1 minute lows, there's higher potential for GJ to do a pullback as buyers exit positions and they want to jump in from better entry points. And I'm looking for pullback buys at 141.200. If we don't break these handle body lows and we continue to consolidate at 141.500, I'm looking for the buys at the breakout above these 1 minute highs up to 0.800. Okay. I'm only looking for sells if we have a clean break and retest below 141.200 and we can validate a few things. Global equity markets exhausting, specifically UK markets. When we look at the FTSE, look at the UK 100, a break below the 0.200 psychological price level, a break below that bullish market structure we have highlighted on the lower time frame. With all those confirms, we can safely take sells on GJ down the ranges. Now, we could very much well get a break below these candle body lows and have that pullback to 0.200. Trading that pullback is your discretion. I'm personally rather waiting for the pullback, if it does happen, to set up better buys. Understand? Okay? So let me label that out. Yeah, don't worry. We're still gonna look at Euro USD and US30 as well. We're like you guys have no pay. If you guys, if you guys don't have patience to wait for like to wait for some guy you're watching on the internet do analysis, I'm fucking scared of how you guys trade. You guys must be some impulsive, indecisive motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You guys must be taking an entry, doubting it, closing it quick, then taking a sell, then it goes up a bit, you close it, you take a buy, then you're like, fuck man, I missed my entry. You guys, like, if you guys can't even wait for analysis, you guys must be spazzing the fuck out when you actively trade, right? Because you have to understand, from a trading psychology perspective, right? Live proof. So from a trading psychology perspective, the most stress and mental energy you are going to expel is coming from when you are in an active trading position. You shouldn't be like right now when we're doing analysis, you shouldn't be wasting any mental energy. You shouldn't be stressing out. We shouldn't be like fucking you get what I'm saying, right? We're just objectively looking at the market for what it is right now, doing analysis and labeling out trade ideas. So if those trade ideas come to fruition overnight, we can execute based on those trade ideas we pre-planned, right? We're not just going to watch the markets and say, oh, okay, a sell looks good now. No, we're analyzing the markets first, creating potential trade ideas based on specific price points, either at higher time frame key levels or retest of structure. You get what I'm saying? Rofi, if you could always just is the DVR enabled, guys, on this live stream on YouTube? If you want, you could just quickly rewind this and watch it. It was just about 10 minutes ago. All right. So yeah, don't worry about it. We're still, after I get through with GJ, we're going to do Euro USD, GBPUSD, and US30. Right? Yeah, you could just rewind this 10 minutes ago, watch like we start gold analysis, then come back. You know what I mean? But anyways, what I want to talk about right now is, yes, we're starting to get some signs of exhaustion just at these off market hours when we start to come into London session, but we can't validate a pullback unless we break below these 1 minute lows you guys have seen these reactions to, just a bit below the 0.500 price point. If we break below here, there's higher potential we'll get that pullback to 141.2. But if you want to scalp that pullback down to 141.2, that is your user discretion. I am primarily waiting for the pullback and then support to be created to continue with the trend. All right. So let me quickly label out those trade ideas and what we're looking at on GJ, and then we'll jump on to Euro USD. Let me quickly read the headlines to the left of your screen here. Since German market open 2 a.m. Eastern, we haven't had too much, so nothing too significant here going on right there. You guys can read those as well, just to the left of your screen, some of the reactive real-time headlines. And let me label this out. So I'm just going to mute myself while I'm typing. Okay, so does that make sense about GJ? That, yeah, obviously on the intradays and the higher time frames, we are still extremely bullish and we're going to revisit previous highs. But with current price action and just how GJ ran a very strong bullish run over Asian session hours, you can see we're starting to get some exhaustion by buyers at these 141.500 highs. Now, if we remain below these 1 minute order block lows here, there's higher potential that we're going to have this pullback down to potentially revisit 141.200. If you want to scalp that pullback down, again, that is your discretion for a scalp trade to play the pullback. Just if you do take the sell and it runs down to 0.200, right? And we start to make a support, don't be surprised if we come right back to your entry and we don't break the structure and buyers jump back into the market. Because right now, when we're looking at the lower time frame, what we're identifying is a break of that bearish market structure and that support at previous intraday lows and the development of bullish market structure. So yes, we're having this reaction here, but if we come back down and create a support and get more buyers in the market, we're just going to continue this structure. And you can see as long as we really maintain above 141.2 here, where you have this order block to the left and price sensitivity area, we're still in that bullish bias, okay? You get what I'm saying? And our psychological price levels following the quarter point theory are still being currently used as support. So yeah, let's watch that, see what it does now. It is currently 2:24 a.m. Eastern, and yeah, we're gonna be waiting for those. All right. I'm just primarily waiting for the safer buys. I'd only be looking for scalp sells with the confirms below 0.200. We can see that dollar's having a bit of an upside move actually. So if dollar goes up to revisit those highs and Japanese yen has some strength overnight, um, obviously, should I mean to move that? Obviously, we're not going to get that retest of the bullish structure, then continuation up, and that would give more confirms for potential exhaustion on GJ, Euro USD, and GU, right? But yeah, so let's watch gold here as it comes to 1836 again. Let's watch GJ as we're starting to get that pullback. And let's see how we react at 0.200 once we come down here, how we react at the bullish structure at 0.200. Any questions about that, let me know. And otherwise, I'm going to jump to Euro USD here. Okay, so for anybody who watched the GJ breakdown, who got to watch the Euro USD webinar that was recently uploaded? It only has like 700 views. It's on the YouTube channel. The Capital Hungry private channel had it earlier. But basically, what we were anticipating on the higher time frames was as soon as we had a break below these previous highs, as well as this bullish market structure, there was strong potential for Euro USD to start entering a corrective pullback phase, as you can see here, and start making its way down to retest possibly 1.2 flat, then continue its way up on the higher time frames, right? Which is what you're going to see come here, Euro USD. So see when here Euro USD was sitting at these highs, we were only looking for safe higher time frame buys if we broke those highs. Otherwise, below 1.2198, we are anticipating that pullback phase, which you guys can see is active now, to set up better buys to continue our way up from a macro perspective, as it's still very early into the year as well, right? You can't forget that it's a new year, new yearly candle, quarterly candle also setting up. So you can see that we broke that structure. We broke and retested below 1.22, and since then we have been slowly making our way down, respecting this bearish corrective structure, looking to target 1.199 flat, right? So now something we want to keep an eye on when we zoom in here is we had this corrective lower time frame bearish market structure that we broke out of, and it looks like buyers were jumping back into the market, but we can't deny that we would have had more sellers pressure as we approach this area and this higher time frame key level anyways. So now we're in a bit of a messy area when we're coming into Euro USD, which is going to be heavily dependent on how the dollar runs overnight. So if the dollar continues bullish overnight, which it looks like it might do, and it doesn't end up fading out its strength and continuing down, then there's higher potential for us to take these scalp sells below this medium term zone back to revisit these lows that were created, these new minor lows that were created for 30 pips, right? But other than that, I'm pretty much looking for higher risk, higher reward sells at a retest of the key level. Let me clean this up here. Because on the 1 minute, we can start to see some very minor bullish market structure developing. right? And these lows, you could see it got bought up and came back into the range fairly quick. It broke these previous 1 minute highs. And the one thing we want to keep in mind is the ECB and as we're in this messy area now from a technical perspective, in a bit of this intraday range area, you also want to keep in mind fundamentally, Euro USD buyers and sellers may be on the sidelines until the ECB monetary statement later on, right? Like not today, but later on in the week. But the safer sells would only be with these confirms for a scalp trade down to revisit these previous lows. Okay. Okay, so any questions about Euro USD? We are holding above these previous 1 minute highs for now, as respecting this minor bullish structure on the lower time frames. We're primarily going to be watching the US dollar overnight. We failed to break above our key level with the strong rejection area here. If we could get a break and retest below 1.208, we have a roughly 25 to 30 pip range down to revisit these previous lows. We'll have more confirms and confidence to execute on those sells if we notice the dollar continues bullish overnight to revisit these previous highs. And if German equity markets, Euro stock markets have a bit of exhaustion and continue to revisit previous lows, that would also show us more confirms of potential Euro buyers exiting the market and just sellers in short-term control. Other than that, if we respect this structure, come above this 1 minute order block, break above the key level, and the dollar is bearish overnight, we can start to take scalp buys up. But we have to watch reactions at this intraday bear structure. If we break above there, easy ranges to the upside. Right now, we are in a bit of a technical range on the 30-minute and hourly chart with a lot of indecision from the key level down to these intraday lows. So just be cautious of that. And let's just watch price action accordingly and wait for these trade ideas through London session. Any questions about Euro USD? See, GJ, like how you're having these little sell plays, but nothing too crazy. So that's why I didn't want to. That's why I said be very cautious if you start jumping in sells. I'm primarily in that bullish bias. Even if we don't get the full pullback to 141.2 when it creates a support and then comes back above 0.500, we're still looking for buys, right? New 30-minute candle though, so hopefully we still get that deeper pullback. Gold as well. It looks like we're still playing in this range from about 1836 to 1840. I want to see how we react at 1836, higher time frame key level. Looking at some of the headlines to the left, we have some China Foreign Ministry talking about what's going on with Trump. French Health Minister, nothing too, just talking about the worrying levels of COVID virus and whether or not there could be a new national lockdown in France, but nothing too significant there. Hopefully they say there'll be a lockdown and we can take sales on Euro USD with these confirms. another lockdown. Yeah, normal headlines. All right. I just have to quickly go to the washroom. It's a lot of talking I'm doing. But before I do that, don't forget about the German economic zoo data that we're going to look at 5 a.m. Eastern. Okay. And we don't have too much data other than that, besides a bit through New York session. There's a lot more data later in the week regarding the central bank monetary statements and inflation figures. Don't forget some of these key macro fundamental points. A lot of them has been priced in, but it's still something we should keep an eye on and focus on. Don't forget the stream reminders if you want to contact me, if you want to learn more for free, if you want to learn more in depth and you want to pay for it. All those different services are there for you. I highly suggest using all of the free services first, the free YouTube, the free analysis chat, the free Twitter, and absorbing as much information as you can. And don't forget about your mentor reminders as we're coming into the session volume period. I will be right back, just 5 to 10 minutes here, and then we're going to continue analysis on GU and US30. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I got a Dominion Markets ad you guys are going to watch right now for Keel. All right, I'm back. Okay. The hell? What? Oh, 142. Okay. Oh, 140.5. Oh, you're in from there. Oh, Euro USD. So very strong reaction here. It looks like dollar's fading out that strength, hey guys? It didn't break yet, man. Yo, guys, wait till London Open, okay? Can you guys chill? Wait, just can you guys wait 18 minutes? Relax, fellas. This stream is gonna be going till like I don't get too many viewers because these streams are only twice a week and it's long as fuck. Like these streams are usually 3 to 4 hours, but like we're gonna be these trade ideas. We're gonna be waiting to execute on from like now all the way till like Asian session close 5 a.m. Eastern. And if they don't play out, then we're still going to have you still have these potential trade ideas that can play out through New York. And because New York was on like American markets, North American markets were on holiday yesterday because Martin Luther King Day, specifically for America. We should have some more volume coming in with New York session today, like later today, right? So just keep all this in mind. Was looking at the 1 minute, zoomed in, right, John? Looks like a fucking rocket, right? When you're zoomed in, that's why I only started zooming in. Like I only come to the 1 minute and really zoom in to observe price action as we come to an area of interest. So if we break above 1.21, I'll start really zooming into and looking at the price action for entry points. Right? It would be very nice if we could have this hourly candle close above 1.21. You're in gold buys at 1838. It doesn't look so good. It looks like we're going to come down to revisit 1836 actually. I would wait until London Open just with this upside move we just had now and the rejection at these previous 1 minute highs and failure to break higher and the potential that we could come down to revisit 36 and then continue up. And the fact that London Opens can still come down and whip you out too. But if you have your risk set already, the safer buys would be once we break out. Like if you're in 38 buys, if you took these 38 buys, right? Whatever for whatever reason you had, if we broke above these previous 1 minute price sensitivity area, you would have more validation to extend your buys to the upside. But you can see price action right now when you're zooming in, this instant correction of this upside move and sellers trying to jump back in here. No, it doesn't, man. Asian session is not just one fucking place, man. It's not like one company. Asian markets include Korea, Japan, China, India, right? Usually it goes Australia Open, Korea, Japan, then China. I'm talking about when all of the Asian markets close, usually by China market hours. London markets, London's at 3 a.m. Eastern. German markets open at 2 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, so only thing, Mojo, is yes, the US dollar's weak, but don't be surprised if for London Open we do a pullback. And if we make our way up and break above 1841, you have confirms to extend your trade, right? But just be cautious of how gold is playing in this range from 36 to 1840. So don't be surprised if we get a pullback to revisit these lows. Guys, Asian markets isn't like one man at a desk. He's like, all right, guys, I'm here for the day. All right, I'm leaving now. Fucking, it's an entire region of countries. You know what I mean? With their own economies and stock markets, and it opens based on time zone, geographic location. You know, London, bro. London isn't 7 a.m. for you, man. It's not 7. It's 8 a.m. everywhere in the world. Come on, Fadil. You guys don't open at 7 a.m. 8 a.m., man. Crazy questions you guys got, man. Gold. Okay, I mean, GJ's back above the order block. This hourly candle is about to close bullish. 15 looks like it's about to bust a nut. So we're still in that buy bias, just waiting for London open, right? So we're still in that buy bias on GJ, just waiting for those execution points. Still in that buy bias on gold, but just waiting for the execution point. Oh, Euro USD busted a nut. This is nice to get an hourly close above the level, then a retest at London Open, support formed and scalp buys up. All right, with these confirms, is dollar faded that strength right out. Yes. That's what we like to see to give us that bias for those EU buys, gold buys, and potential US30 and GU buys. If dollar does make its way down to revisit this structure, EU will give us that squeeze here. All right. 12 minutes till London Open. Holy yo, you guys should not be this confused about session open and close times. All right. This if should not be. Euro USD is looking good. We don't have the safe sell confirms as we respected the bullish market structure and retested those previous 1 minute highs and grabbed liquidity. Another thing that we want to just keep an eye out for London Open is that we might dip a bit lower than the key level to retest this order block we were seeing forming. You get what I'm saying? So let's just let it do its thing. Mojo, you're in EU as well. You're in EU. You're in gold. You're in fuck everything, bro. What time is Alaskan Open there? Now you stump me. Now I don't have an answer for that. The London man is at his desk room. You bought Euro USD down here at the retest of this bullish structure, Nehemish. UCAD sells Mojo, obviously, right? You guys are killing me. Chill, bro. Account blowing ass boy. You guys are fucking chokes, man. Break of the W here, right? The double bottom on the 1 minute. One sec here. Sorry, guys. Just got a message. Yes. Guys, I'm just gonna patiently wait for Jerusalem Open. Honestly, man, no racist shit. The Jews be bringing in that volume. They got that liquidity, man. Jerusalem Open might be the best trading time, low key. They got money. They got money. They do got money. Not trying to like say racist shit, but they got money. They be running the world behind the scenes. All right, okay, let's do analysis on GU. Clean all this mess up. I like this. liquidity grab on GU, eh? If this candle closes bullish, I really like this liquidity grab for the following hourly, just to quickly push to the downside, then continue back up to 1.365. As long as the US dollar remains weak, I'm just going to look for execution points on the 1 minute here based on price sensitivity areas. Man, even if we break the highs of this hourly candle and go up this 40 pips, let's look at the lower time frame here. Oh, this is nice. You guys see this? You also had a very similar to GJ where we could validate the break. Very strong liquidity zone in this area too. If you patiently wait for GU to do a pullback at London Open, and then you take the buys above 1.316, that's a nice 30 or 40 pips up to revisit the key level. This is a very strong snapback and very strong reaction where you could see the 1 minute we had buyers create new highs. This pullback went to revisit that previous liquidity zone, and then it's continuing up here, right? So what we're looking at here is that hourly created a very nice liquidity grab downside wick, similar to like what EU did. And when we're looking at the dollar, it is continuing, even though it looked like it was about to fake us out and I was horribly wrong about the dollar going down, it fucking came in clutch for me, you know? Even though I was like, yo, this is going to come down, guys. Don't worry. It spiked up. Gold is just, gold is, you have to understand, Kashif, that gold is not just a currency. Gold has many impacting factors to it because it's a physically traded commodity and precious metal. It is not just a currency like the US dollar or GBP or the yen. Yes, it's gold against the US dollar, but there's tons and tons of individual impacting factors on gold, such as current interest rates, inflation figures, supply and demand of physical gold, futures contracts. You get what I'm saying? That's why I said that's why I said that correlation between the US dollar and gold, it's not a direct inverse correlation. It's just it's the only correlation or relation there is the fact that it's gold against the US dollar, because we could very well be trading XAU AUD or XAU EUR euro, right? So you have to understand that. So there are many chances where both the US dollar and gold can be extremely bullish when there's massive economic uncertainty. So at the start of COVID, March 2020, both the US dollar and gold were extremely bullish at the same time. Yeah, you could trade XAU, SEK, XAU against the Chinese dollar if you have access to that. But we primarily trade against the US dollar. That's the only relation you have there. But you can't forget that gold itself is not a currency, right? This looked like it gave a quick little retest, but we still have London Open to get our retest and continuations up here. I like how the dollar's fading out that strength like we expected, and I like how equity markets are still continuing bullish here. No, I don't have Instagram anymore. I used to have like Instagram with 20K followers, but I used to post a lot of political propaganda and do like IG lives about like how the government is corrupt, how the system is against us, how corrupt the central banks are. I used to tag like politicians like Boris Johnson, be like, "Do your fucking job," shit like that. Then my account got banned. That's why my YouTube's not. Did you guys see when I left to go to the washroom? I played that Pacific Union ad and Raja's broker ad. That's because there wasn't any incentive for me to do these streams because my YouTube is not monetized. My YouTube has a lot of videos where I've talked a lot of shit about like global governments, specific politicians, economies. Like for example, like this. The title of this is corrupt central banking system. You are a debt slave. You know what I mean? So like shit like that, like talking about central banks and like all that all the shit that got censored. You get what I mean? Exactly. Or talking about like trading psychology, a lot of fundamental and real world concepts, talking about the corruption and what happened with oil and all that. So my YouTube is not monetized for that reason, and a lot of the stuff that's because you have to understand, even though these streams are 4 hours long, YouTube, I don't know, they probably have an algorithm that does it, but they scan the whole fucking video. I've had certain videos that were individually copyrighted for like a 3 second audio clip that played that somebody played, or I accidentally played a video, and it ended up being a little copyrighted clip, and I couldn't even upload that video unless I took that clip out, which is like a, you know what I mean? So like they have algorithms that are scanning fucking every social media, and these data mining companies are scary. You know how they said AI is going to take over the world? AI has already taken over the world in that social media and data world, in that data mining aspect. They're already making all of our decisions for us, formulating ads we're gonna see, formulating what we're gonna like, what we're gonna think, the next decision we're gonna make, where we're gonna shop. You know what I'm saying? Like big tech, big social media companies, they're fucking scary, man. Look at Trump. Trump's the president of the U.S. and he got shut down on the internet like that. And I'm not saying what he did was wrong, what he did was good. I don't care about that. You get what I'm saying? I'm just talking about like you had this guy who was a market mover who could tweet about a company and change like everything, you know what I mean? Or and who was the president of the United States, and you have every social media platform just censor and remove them. Even if you go on Telegram here and you come down here, where the fuck is it? Did they remove them? See here? Do you guys see here on my Telegram? The Donald Trump page says scam on it, and that's by Telegram. Telegram, the application did that. You guys see that? You get what I'm saying though, right? Like the whole regular trading shit like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So yeah, that's why I played those in-stream ads. I'm just being honest with you guys. Yeah, exactly, Alice. That's what Alice. I don't mean to pronounce your name incorrectly, but that's exactly what I mean, you know? What happened? Guy that hates on free chart work is here? Alright, anyways. Okay, what time is it, everybody? 1 minute till London Open. GJ is still playing around between these candle body highs and lows. We're still looking for these potential trade ideas. We haven't executed on shit yet, except for people who started jumping in EU buys. This hourly candle looks like it's going to close above the key level, and we're going to watch reactions at the key level. Gold looks like it's going to come dig deeper down to 1836, and we have to watch a key decision point here, okay? If you guys want to see the intraday analysis we were looking at across these pairs and how we got to these potential trade ideas, just rewind the stream, you know what I mean? Yeah, unless you're making money on social media, it's extremely toxic. I was making money off social media, and I still got it banned, and I still even took a break and removed it myself too. You know what I mean? So London Open right now, candles just opened up, new hourly. This hourly candle on gold is already made an upper wick. It has no lower wick yet, so don't be surprised if it comes to push down to make that lower wick. But we're still waiting. We're not entering anything in this range anyways. GJ hourly candle, similar idea. Let's just zoom out here. Very similar idea, where the hourly candle hasn't created a lower wick yet. It doesn't have to technically create one, but there is higher probability with these intraday candles as session periods that it will be created. So let's watch GJ accordingly, because if it doesn't break that price sensitivity area, it will make that lower wick and give us that deeper pullback. It's only it's only like 1 minute into the session right now, you know. So let's just watch this accordingly. Bro, you know what I hate about social media? It makes people argue about fucking shit that doesn't matter. People be arguing about religion. People be arguing about people's trade analysis. People be arguing about like It's real shit that does not matter. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's why I'd remove my social media. It's a very toxic place. It's a place where people are just constantly portraying a fake life to others, you know? Gold here continuing up. I'm just so iffy just because that hourly. Wait, did it already make that lower wick? Gold's looking good. I'm just so iffy about this. I'm just so iffy about this zone and the fact that this candle doesn't have a lower wick. Like right here, like if we don't break above these candle body highs, I can still see us just like potentially flipping to create that lower wick still. And this is just a little bit. This is obviously messy, just on the for the last 6 hours worth of price action, right? So let's watch that accordingly. But obviously, our buy bias on gold and GJ is still relevant. Very nice retest here on the 1 minute at 1.21. Let's see if we can get another retest and continuation up just for some more scalps as per these trades. You can see we still respected the bullish market structure and came above that order block. GU, I'm primarily looking for GU to come above these 1 minute highs, and so we can scale it from 36.1. Oh, what the fuck? I'm gonna check your guys. I'm gonna check your guys' questions in a second. I'll read the chat. If the chat is nonsense, then I'm not gonna read it. If it's just like, you know, if you guys are bickering about shit, Mickey Mouse shit. Why doesn't it let me edit this? Holy the hell, yo! Trading views fucking up right now. EU still fine. GU just stopped loading. Right now, my trading views fucking up on GU. Yeah, it's acting weird right now. I was good until now, but my GU is no longer loading. So what I was gonna say, if you guys remember when we were looking at GU, was the buys above those 1 minute highs after a lower wick is created, as long as we don't break that bullish structure, that range up. Be cautious of this. What the fuck? I was gonna say be cautious because you could take a quick scalp here, but watch as we hit 1843. All right. If you guys took entries at like 1841, the only thing I'm iffy about is that hourly candle not having a lower wick, but we're still respecting our bullish bias, and we're still respecting like our buy bias. We don't have any confirms for safe sells, you know. And GJ, let's wait for those GJ buy entries as well. Watch reactions just as we come up to these previous price sensitivity highs. Yeah, my GU froze here. Oh, here we go. All right, so what I was gonna say on GU. All right, let's go back here. GJ, you could still get an easy scalp as if we fail to break these lows and then come above these highs. Otherwise, it does look like with some of this price action, we could get a deeper pullback still. But otherwise, I don't want to play in this little like 10 pip range. You know what I mean? Gold is coming right back up to revisit around those 1844 highs. Oh, why did I say 1845 here? But just because I'm still like, yes, that was a good scalp from 1841 breakout 2 here. But the only thing I'm being iffy about is the fact that the hourly candle doesn't have a lower wick, and we've seen strong rejection at this price point before on the lower time frame. That's the only thing I'm iffy about. So other than that, like our buy bias is still holding out. Like our current bias on gold is still bullish. That's still being respected. Our 1836 area, we didn't get the retest, but that order block was still being respected. We are above that 1841 medium term zone. Obviously, if you're in buys or you want to take further buys, we need a break above these previous 1 minute highs to extend that trade up. If we don't get that extension or break above these highs, there's going to be higher potential to play in this range and get more of aggressive pullback. Okay. EU ripped it. Anybody take the EU scalps? And it went straight to retest this structure too we are talking about for a nice little 17 pip scalp. Anybody take EU out? Anybody take the EU? AU was probably like the same move, right? Interbank trader, pretty much same shit. Any like XXX USD pair as the US dollar strength got waved off. Besides GBP pairs, which are a bit stagnant right now. How do you remain patient while looking at price moving? In my opinion, you shouldn't be stressing out or wasting any mental energy or even like worrying about price if you're not in a trade. If you're just actively watching the charts, analyzing information, like as we're watching right now, you shouldn't be that worried. If you waited for this break and retest and you entered a trade here for a scalp and remember I said here, what did I say? Watch reaction at this intraday bear structure if we push up. Because remember here, when we zoom out, yes, we're getting this strong price action, but don't forget about this intraday bearish market structure on the hourly and 4 hour. We still haven't had full control of buyers in the market. You get what I'm saying here? You guys can see that, right? Right here. Like sellers are still continuously printing lows. If we break above that bullish structure or that bearish structure, sorry, and show more intraday bullish structure forming, there's a lot of room for EU upside and validating that corrective phase coming to an end. But be cautious here, because if we don't break here and the US dollar picks up strength, maybe at New York, we do have potential on the intraday to revisit these lows if we don't break the structure. All right. So yes, the scalp up to revisit that price point was nice. It was a nice 10-15 pip scalp from that wick grab and above the key level to that price point. As a scalp trader, that's nice, but you have to still remain objective to what is currently happening in front of you. Now, if you took those EU buy scalps and you caught 10-15 pips, you can't just start to get greedy and say, oh yeah, EU's going to go to the moon. You still have to watch objectively and say, okay, this EU buy scalp played out. These buys that we were looking for, we didn't get a break of structure. We broke above the 1 minute highs. We broke and retested or take the breakout entry at the key level 1.21, and we wanted to watch the reactions at least to this structure. You banked your 10-15 pips, 17-20 pips, and you leave your runners risk free. Now you're watching for two things. Price is either going to come back to revisit this area and fail to break, where you can take more entries, or if we break above this bearish market structure now, you can extend your trades and look for possible more entries with the validation of continued buyers momentum, because we're breaking that intraday bearish structure. If we come up to here and continue to reject, don't be what's the word, don't be lost in your own bias or in your own greed, and not and don't ignore that. Too many people ignore what is happening right in front of them because they are in a trade and they want a certain outcome. If that does that make sense? As soon as you're in a trade, you want that bias to play out. You don't want to be wrong. You already have an outcome in mind. So if you start to see signs that your trade might not play out, you start to fool yourself and say, don't worry, it's just a pullback, or it could still go up, or maybe the next candle will rock it up, or you start to make excuses or start to trade on hope and start to trade on hype instead of trading on what is directly happening right in front of you. So because we've done our analysis ahead of time, we already anticipated that yes, we can take these safe buys with these confirms, but we have to be very cautious and watch the reaction if we do push up at this intraday bearish structure, where you can see where we're reacting right now. Does that make sense to everybody? About knowing what type of trader you are, scalp or intraday, and being very adaptive and reactive to the markets and what's going on right in front of you and what you already pre-planned ahead of time. All right? Okay? All right, so let's just watch now. That was a nice little quick scalp. Hopefully you guys exited your primary positions where I told you guys and leave runners risk free so you don't forfeit any capital or take any loss. We were already expecting price to have a reaction at this area, and now let's just let it do its thing. Let's just see how this 30-minute candle closes in the next 17 minutes. When we're looking at some of the headlines here, we do have some headlines regarding like some amateur sports clubs in France. Other than that, not too many economic headlines. We don't have too much economic data to focus on either. We're primarily just going to be watching the reactive headlines and price action on the lower time frame, you know? So this is what I was talking about on gold. You can see similar to like Euro USD. Yes, you had that nice little buy squeeze with volume and scalp from 1841 to 1844 after we had that pullback and failure to break for those 30 pips. But if we don't break those previous highs in price sensitivity area, does it not, there's higher potential for buyers to exit positions at that same price sensitivity area. And when buyers exit those positions, you have that pullback created. Okay, so watch gold accordingly now. And that's why when you're scalping, with how the market moves, especially with these very liquid pairs that we trade, like gold, GJ, Euro USD, US30, I'll do analysis on as well. You have the market's always here and it's always moving. All right, it doesn't matter if it's a pandemic, it doesn't matter if it's a war, it doesn't matter if it's a financial collapse. The market doesn't care. It's just people are gonna find ways to monetize on those and change their investment style to make money on those different events, right? It's just to tell you that through those different events, if you have a war that impacts your country, you might not be able to trade or even go to work anymore, right? If you have a pandemic like we had and you lost your job, you might not even have the capital to trade the markets. So the one thing you have to understand is the market's always going to be here, but your potential to trade and your capital may not be. So that's where your primary focus has to be on, is protecting that and on the risk management side. Because no matter if you trade and lose $50,000 and you quit, the market's still going to be chugging away. That doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? All right, so now let's look at US30. Yeah, I didn't get to do analysis on US30 as we were breaking down these other pairs and then watching how London opened up. Yeah, for some people, the pandemic destroyed their livelihood, destroyed small businesses. On the other end, it was one of the best trading years for people, including myself, which is sort of like selfish and greedy to say, but that's what the market is. You know what I'm saying? The market's built on that. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like people had. So GJ, you guys get what I was saying? As we failed to break these order block highs, that hourly candle didn't have a lower wick, so it looks like we're gonna have that deeper pullback to 0.200. So let's just watch accordingly. We didn't rush any entries here. Gold's still playing around, but we're only taking further entries above 1844. And then we're looking to continue the squeeze till 1852. It doesn't look like it's going to make a lower wick with that strong support we've seen created above 1836 in that lower time frame order block. And our original buy bias is still playing out. GJ, our buy bias, like our bullish bias, is still active. We're just waiting for pullbacks to better buy entries or break out above the high buy entries. We would only be shifting our bullish bias if we had a break of the structure and with these confirms here. That's actually true, Curtis. That's actually a really good point. People could have fully well, with the amount of access to the internet and resources, yeah, they could have used that free time to like learn another skill, try like risk doing something else, you know what I mean? But you're right, 99%, as soon as that lockdown hit, they started drinking more, smoking more, wasting even more time than they usually would. So yeah, you're right, man. That's true. That's a good point. It is up to the person at the end of the day, no matter what they're doing. USD, like I said, let's slowly watch it. Let's see if we break above 1.218 to extend buys. This is where I'd be looking to take more buys if we break that bear structure. Yeah, it's hard to get a balance in life, AB. That's one of the hardest things I find. GBP USD, no confirms or a break above these 1 minute highs. You can see the rejections there on the dot. We're only taking the safe sells if the dollar picks up strength and we break below this bullish structure and 1 minute lows. Otherwise, don't be surprised if GBP pairs just range. Now let's take a look at US30, okay? Okay, so one thing I was talking about is, remember, I'm just going to keep US30 on. Actually, we can quickly look at the higher time frames. US30, bullish as fuck. All right? Feds, Burr, injections, corporate greed, investor greed, stonks don't go down. All right? Buyers technically still printing highs, sellers not breaking previous lows, bullish market structure still holding, market still optimistic. Easy to see there, okay? Something else we want to identify is our higher time frame key levels and macro bullish market structure is still being respected. And then when we start to zoom in the time frames here, we can see that we created a flat candle body support above the key level. Even though we had this wick, we failed to close below previous lows. And when we zoom in on the lower time frame, this corrective structure has come to an end and we're above this intraday order block as well. All right. So now when I'm coming on the 1 minute, this is like similar to GJ. This is looking like a nice order block above the key level. This is similar to GJ. See how you had this bearish structure, very similar to like GJ, as you had the pullbacks from those optimistic highs. Do you see how for, like, let's just say an intraday period of maybe a day, 3 days, almost 4 days, sellers were primarily in control on US30, you can say. You had this corrective bearish structure and you had buyers exiting positions at all-time highs. It doesn't mean that it was in a sell trend on the higher time frames. It doesn't mean that there was some massive fear or sell-off. It's just how the market behaves. It moves in waves. It's the reaction between buyers and sellers, closing entry, closing positions, getting out of the market, entering the market, etc. Right? Everything I explained to you guys over and over again. So we had this structure being respected for an extended period of time there, but we failed to break. My thing just froze. We failed to break cleanly below previous intraday lows, and at the same time, we popped back above our 30.750 higher time frame key level, then broke above the bearish market structure and these previous 1 minute highs right now. Okay? So everything on US30 with the market optimism, and just to keep in mind as a reference point that global equity markets across the world are bullish. German equities, the dip got bought up. Like we saw a similar thing with UK equities, corrective dip from the highs and the dip getting bought up. German equities intraday high, corrective dip, pullback, dip getting bought up. Australia is just sitting at highs and in a range. China's ripping it. Japan's ripping it after having a consolidation phase. Global equity markets are still very bullish with potential to revisit previous highs. Okay. So what I'm saying is that as long as US30 respects this bullish market structure on the lower time frame here, I am looking for pullback buys to revisit this structure and a lower time frame support formed at around 30.9900 area, or just a support formed and failure to break 31K flat and buys up. All right. Overall, higher time frames on US30 bullish, fundamentals on US30 bullish. The only way I could see stock market buyers closing positions from a higher time frame perspective and short sellers jumping in and really strong market fear is if we have another US lockdown, or if there's like another COVID variant that just leads to another US lockdown. Other than that, with all these vaccine rollout talks, with a lot of the COVID fear being priced in, we're just going to have continuous minor pullbacks, respect structure, and continuation to the upside, especially as long as the Feds keep injecting the markets. Maybe when we come to an economic recovery stage and the Feds increase the rates again and decrease some of the U.S. dollar supply, that would be a fundamental reason to have the stock market go a bit bearish just from the higher time frame perspective. But other than that, man, stocks only go up. So okay. So watching either entries at 31K flat fail to break, or what would be ideal is if overnight or through New York session, possibly for the new 4-hour candles, we get a lower wick to 30.9 to retest this lower time frame structure and around those previous 1-minute highs in price sensitivity area, and better risk versus reward buys here. I would really only be looking for safe sells, waiting patiently for sellers to come back below 30.750, where we haven't revisited those lows in a while. Would you consider Tesla a gambling stock? No, I consider Tesla a day trading investment vehicle. I don't consider Tesla a car company stock. I consider Tesla something as liquid and as volatile to day trade as like gold or as like Bitcoin. It's just being used by investors to move money around and as a trading vehicle, because Tesla isn't the most successful automotive company. If I'm not mistaken, it should be Volkswagen, but Tesla's stock price is almost double that of Volkswagen, which has been an industry leader for fucking how many years and owns how many companies underneath that parent company or mother company, whatever you call it, you know? So Tesla's just fucking hype. It's just like a Bitcoin, in my opinion. Elon's just a pure hype train. He just does all this shit like he's fucking Tony Stark, which is lit, but it's not like Tesla is some extremely successful car company with long history. Yes, they make electric cars. Yes, the cars are cool, but when you look at the business numbers behind it, they don't have as many sales like Volkswagen or as much profits or as much history. It's just based on the pure hype and based on like the social following, the database, the technology, the investors they get into it based on Elon. You have to understand, investors, in my opinion, aren't investing in Tesla. They're investing in Elon Musk. They're investing in his ideas, what he can potentially do through SpaceX and through through Tesla. You're essentially investing through this philanthropist, Tony Stark billionaire. And he's the richest motherfucker in the world right now. You know what I mean? So think about that. And it's similar to like Amazon. Amazon is a lot more successful business-wise than Tesla. So their stock price makes sense. But you have to think about this. One Amazon stock, like think about getting a piece of paper in your hand that says this is one Amazon stock. Costs almost double or more, at least a significant price more than a fucking full gold bar, than a full ounce little gold bar. It's crazy, right? Exactly. It's only profitable. Exactly. So yes, that's a lot of profits, but Elon, I think the investing is heavily based on Elon, like, and people investing in Elon's ideas, concepts, and vision for the future, and exact. You know what I mean? Because the actual numbers itself, like, they're not like anything crazier than like they're not beating some of these actual automotive industry leaders. But the stock price or stock value is not just dependent on the company's performance. It's dependent on so many other factors: investor behavior. Sorry, one sec. I just got a text message here, and it's similar to like the currency markets, where, like, for example, GBP is not just impacted by GBP's current economic situation. It's impacted by institutional order flows, impacted by different rumors, it's impacted by different political events and catalysts, it's impacted by different hype events, or, like, you get what I'm saying? So stocks are the same idea. Stock value is not a direct correlation of a company's business success or revenue earned or profit. A company can have a high stock value or have an active stock and have no fucking and actually have no profit. Like, look at Uber, but Uber's obviously stock value is decreasing too. But you know what I mean? And Uber's like a widely used. So new 30-minute candles in 3 minutes. We're starting to get the break above 1844. I would just be cautious and wait for the new 30-minute candle to create a lower wick and then continue back up. But gold is slowly chugging away. GJ, it's just looking like it's starting to enter that corrective state and giving us the potential pullback, like we were talking about for the 0.200 retest slowly. But obviously, we're still waiting for better risk versus reward buys. EU, let's watch it as the dollar is still weak. Dollar's following the original yellow brick road, coming to retest that bearish structure. So if EU can break these highs, you can extend your runners and possibly take more buy entries at a break and retest of this structure at the new 30-minute candle. Then obviously watch another 10-15 pips up around 1.213 medium term zone. But that's only if we break this price point. The indexes, they're basically on the intraday time frames. This was just on the fucking daily because I was looking at structure on the higher time frame, but they're basically either on the 1 hour or 4 hour. We don't have any economic events to focus on tonight. There will be a lot Wednesday and Thursday night. The next YouTube stream will be on Thursday. These fundamental points you see on your screen are still very active and relevant. Don't forget your mental reminders. As traders, yes, we're supposed to be attempting to make money in the markets, but we have to protect our capital, focus on the risk management, stay as emotionally neutral as possible. If your heart is racing right now as you're watching this stream, that's not a good thing. All right, take some deep breaths, relax, especially if you're not even in a trade. All right? And don't forget your stream reminders. If you are new to the stream and you want to learn more, or you want to get some access to some other free resources, make sure you follow the Capital Hungry Twitter feed, where there's constant headlines being put. There's not as many headlines as the news terminal to the left. This is only for private channel, like, paying members, because we do like these streams in the private chat on Zoom every day. Plus, a lot more is offered in the private chat, like 50 plus educational webinars and a lot more. But for a free resource, these even Forex Factory was sourcing our Twitter. I even like post some of the trades I took. You know what I mean? Wins and losses. This is like the list of all the trades taken, wins and losses, headlines, etc., etc. Right? Capital Hungry YouTube. But if you guys like, there's a mix of these breakdown videos in between these sessions. These are higher time frame, full breakdowns, fundamental and technical. EURUSD, GJ, gold. These live sessions themselves, you have dozens of them. right? And then you have all of these educational webinars below as well, anywhere from like 15 minutes to hours long, across different psychology concepts, technical and fundamental. You know what I'm saying? And then the Capital Hungry free Telegram analysis channel, you can see to the left, where like I share trades, I share analysis updates, any like trade entries that I took or scalp trades. Like you can see, like I was showing the process of that, like that 15K I made at the start of the week on gold. I showed the whole process here. Like this was the first trade that was taken, was after that impulsive sell. I waited for the retest of 1820, failed to break, and took the sells back down to 1812. And then this is like when the positions were closed, right? After that, I scalped the buys off the 1812 failure to break and made another 4,000. After that, I waited till London session. After that, I waited till London session and scalped just more gold buys as it was starting to form that corrective structure, and made another 4,000. At that point, the biggest loss I had was $900, and the biggest win was 4,500. So like the risk was being managed very well, and like my emotional control was well. There were some points where I was thinking about moving some of the stop losses on these trades where it would have fucked me up. So I was proud that I didn't do that. And then here is where I closed off the day, continuing to scalp just the gold buys after the sells were getting corrected, and made another $2,000. I took another loss there as well of $750. So the biggest losses were $900 and $750, and then the biggest win was like 4.5K. Then you have some break-even trades here and minor losses. All the losses as well, you could see hit a hard stop loss, but all of the profitable trades I manually closed. One thing I have to work on is letting my profitable trades run to a hard TP, because I have no problem setting a hard stop loss and accepting the loss and letting the L's take a stop loss hit, but I struggle being patient enough to let my running trades run to a hard set TP. I always end up manually closing them where I feel good, if that makes sense. So I have to fix that. And just stick to my trade analysis and plans. But yeah, you have that Capital Hungry analysis chat here. So make sure you follow all these free resources. That trade Antonex was broken down here as well. You can see that it was sent here. It was the impulsive break of the key level. So we were in a gold sell bias. These trades are only, so you know how I was telling you guys that you should, this isn't in a day, this is about 2 days, but these trades are multiple positions at a single entry point. So you know how I tell you guys to secure some positions or partials as scalps, then let your runners run risk-free? That's what this is. You only have total trade setups here, about 4 setups. These gold cells down here, which are losses, were the same cells, were the same sell attempts up here. Those are just losing entries first, because those are rushed entries. But that was essentially the same setup as these trades up here. So I went for one set of gold buys with multiple entries at the same position price, and then I went for 2 different gold buy trades with multiple entries at the same position price. You can see if you zoom in here of the entries at these prices, like this 2 lot, we're all at 30.3, 30.4, 30.5, and the timing of them is the exact same. So it's only about 4 total active trade setups, but multiple positions. So I can secure some and close some as runners. I can secure some and leave runners risk free. You get what I'm saying? But overall, the trade setups itself was only about 5 trade setups. Like here, for example, those first gold sells I took, where I made 5,000. This was one trade. This was one trade setup, 4 positions. One early entry where I took a 20 pip stop loss, and then I patiently waited for the entries again and that setup ended up playing out. But for that one trade idea and setup, I had 4 positions essentially open. You get what I'm saying? And then I did this, where like where I closed multiple positions as I'm making my way down to protect myself, but then I leave that one position running risk free just in case gold continues all the way down. You know what I mean? But otherwise, because gold at this point started creating a support at 1812, that's when I exited those positions and closed everything. So that's why you're going to see some positions. That's why you're going to see some positions have higher profit than other positions. Cause I let those run a bit longer. Some I just closed, etc., etc. You get what I mean? So yeah, but all these free resources are there if you guys want to learn more. Capital Hungry Twitter, Capital Hungry YouTube. You guys can see the links here in the Capital Hungry Telegram analysis channel. If you want to learn more than that, and that show how I trade and what I've learned so far that aren't on my YouTube, plus like obviously access to the community, access to all the resources, news terminal. We do these sessions, other members sharing analysis, trade ideas. I always get feedback as well. Like, hey guys, is everything worth the value, etc., etc. But yeah, then you can join the private channel. But the private channel is closing soon. I'm approaching 400 members, where that's where I close the private channel. All right. So anyways, let's get back and see what the charts are doing. So gold on the new 30-minute, like we were talking about, I said to patiently wait for the 30 because the 30-minute had higher potential of creating that lower wick first. Now, let's be careful with buys on gold because of this rejection so far with this 30. Yes, we can watch the 1 minute, but don't forget to zoom out and watch your intraday candle closures as you're scalping or intraday trading. The squeeze from 41 to 45 ran nice. 36 held nice. But let's be careful here because yes, we were supposed to wait for this new 30-minute, but let's let it make its lower wick and grab liquidity and come back above 1844 for safer buys. Otherwise, with this projection and how we already made that 30-minute top wick, don't be surprised if gold ranges all the way back down. And just because of how it's a bit messy. Like, yes, we've had this upside move, but it's been a bit messy over that last period of like 18 hours, that corrective upside structure, where I mean that you get these very strong buy moves, then they get corrected, then you go to a new high, then it gets corrected, then you go to a new high. So don't be surprised if we still continue to work in that fashion. And if you're scalping and intraday trading, those little intraday pullbacks will heavily impact your trades if you're trying to enter late buys, right? So let's just watch this new 30-minute candle accordingly and observe the price action, because it would be ideal if we could come now back above 1844, validate that the 30-minute candle was just grabbing liquidity and creating its lower wick, that the bullish structure is still valid, and then we can take these safe buys, okay? If we don't break back above that zone, well, we're going to have to watch the reaction as we come back to 1841. Did anybody catch the 1841 buys, that impulsive buy? Yeah, don't worry. It's just a quick breakout entry anyways. But the analysis played out at least. The smoother one was Euro USD for the scalp. GJ is just playing around right now. GU's also just ranging. US30 is just sitting at 31K flat. Can you open all the chart on the screen so we can check all at once? What do you mean? You know what? You guys want to see the news headlines? If I take away the news headlines and then a Brexit headline comes out or a major China gold headline comes out, you guys then I'm gonna be pissed because we're gonna miss it. Don't forget, just because we're not seeing any high impactful headlines right now, Doesn't mean that we haven't had periods and times where market were purely running, waiting for a vaccine headline or waiting for a COVID headline, or GBP was heavily shifted based on a Brexit headline. So, and that will come first in this news terminal to the left because it's directly connected to a data terminal. It's not connected to like a Twitter or some website. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's watch gold here because now the 30-minute created that lower wick and returning back bullish. Let's see if we can get another buy squeeze and start making our way up to 1852. GJ, what I want to validate is this minor pullback coming to an end, and that would be validated if we break above these 1-minute highs. We can take those safer buys up. Otherwise, I'm still waiting for better risk versus reward buys at 0.200. This newsroom is only for private channel members. Sorry about that. Yeah, 40 minutes into London volume here. If you guys like these streams and you want them more often, make sure to send a like and subscribe. Also, share the stream around. It's free to send a like, it's free to subscribe, it's free to share this link with other trading groups and on your social media. And it also supports the channel growth, and it also gives me more incentive to do these live streams more consistently. No, we don't do no roasting or banter until Asian session close hours. It's still volume times right now. You get what I'm saying? No nonsense until later on. I just have to go to the washroom before my bladder explodes, okay? What's going on? Gold's still messing around 1844. GJ has been fairly messy over London session. It seems like it did its bull run over Asian. It's just starting to consolidate, generate liquidity now. So basic, sir, basically to learn your detailed explanations about how I enter, you have to become a member. Not really. Like I have like fucking 30 of these streams and like a ton of webinars on my free chat. I mean, sorry, just on the YouTube and in the free chat. Long Bitcoin is the most crowded trade, followed by long tech and short US dollar. That's interesting. Um, I don't think there's too many private channel members in the YouTube chat because they're in a Zoom chat right here. Unless they're watching on, unless they're doing both, like watching on YouTube for shits as well. But most, like the private members are in a Zoom chat right here. Yo, YouTube chat. The private chat asked if anybody in the private channel. Wait, what did they ask? Hey guys, any of you private members, how do you find the channel? Yeah, so if you guys wanna answer them, private channel Zoom chat members here, you can see their opinions on the screen. But anyways, I'll put there's but yeah, they're in the Zoom chat. Gold's looking better now for that squeeze up. If it stays above 1844, the only thing is we're coming to a new hourly candle at 4 a.m. Eastern, and this hourly candle closing. So again, higher probability for a pullback. More risk in not joining. Yeah, it's up to you guys. You don't have to join. Okay, EU starting to range as well. Some guy named Mofo said I was there before. I hardly answer any questions. It's so unfair. As we got a Zoom chat of like members answering questions, like getting questions answered through the night. You know what I mean? Since 1:30. Yeah. The private channel members are right here. Unless you think these are all paid actors I got just to keep myself company. Mofo, you asked me a few questions. What's your Telegram ID? Let's prove it. Let's prove it right now and put you on the spot. What's your Telegram ID? Markets are ranging. We got time. Send your Telegram username. I'll just search it up right now, like on the screen, you know? Teach me how to fish, not give me fish. I don't. Just send me your Telegram name. Like I'll show everybody on the screen of how I mistreated you. So just send your Telegram name. That's all I gotta do, right? Like that. All right. Gold. Only thing right now. Oh, you already secured 50%. I would leave it risk free. Live you. But the I would leave it risk free. The only thing is this new hourly candle at 4 a.m. with the rejections we're getting at this area could give us a deeper pullback again. Just like if you can see how gold has been functioning on the intraday time frames. Okay? So be very cautious as you're buying at a high. This scalp was good for like 20 points, whatever. But yeah. No doubt he teaches, but he never answers questions. Yo, mofo, just send your Telegram username. I'll search it up right now. And if you're right, then I'll embarrass myself. That means if you were in the private channel at one point, we would and you asked me questions. So send your Telegram name because if you were in the private channel, we would have a conversation with you asking me questions and me ignoring them, right? So send that username. Otherwise, you're just trying to downplay the private channel based on your own bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah, seems like you're a paid actor. Yeah, you understand, Live you. So just with the new hourly candle, we might get a deeper pullback here with how it's moving. Yeah, I agree. I think this is just a guy that doesn't like me. Mofo, you keep typing. You can hear me. You can read the chat. Send your Telegram username. If you don't send your Telegram username, then I'm no longer gonna even acknowledge you. I'm not gonna ban you because you're probably very lonely and you probably fucking desperately need the stream. And I don't ban anybody, but I'm no longer gonna give you any attention, which is gonna make you sad unless you send your Telegram username so I can show the public your conversation with me. All right? Because if you claim all these things, then it shouldn't be hard to prove with our conversation, you know? New hourly candles, guys. 4 a.m. Eastern now. We have 1 hour until China markets close in the new 4 hour candles. When we're looking at gold, this is what I'm talking about, where it's already created a bit of an upper wick and it has potential to do that deeper pullback. So let's just keep an eye on that. But what I do like is the fact that the US dollar is still relatively flat and bearish over the last period of extended hours. We had that very strong corrective move, and we're having this order block in support created above 1836. I'd be looking for a retest of this order block on the new 4 hour and hourly candle and continuation up. Yeah, some people be beyond retarded And Mofo is one of these retarded ass motherfuckers. This guy said he was in the private channel and how shit it was, but won't send his username. So, which is, if he's true, if what he's saying is true and he's right, that would make me look bad, and I'm fully willing to show that. And you also said you didn't like it, but you're here watching this stream. You're watching me right now while you're sitting in your Fruit of Loom underwear with your fucking stomach out, fucking touching your titties, touching your sweaty titties, sitting here in a wife beater, fucking watching me on the screen. You know what I mean? Give your dirty Fruit of Loom underwear, take it off. It's been 7 days. Put it in the fucking laundry like your mom told you to, and go study the markets in some clean clothing. All right? Holy. You guys, people acting like this is some fucking paid stream. This is just a free YouTube stream. I'm fucking. You know how much money? You know how much money I've given away on these streams? You know how much money has been given away on all of these streams? Through, you know how much content, analysis, trade ideas, education, information has been given through all of these webinars and streams? And you're still angry at me when nobody even knows you exist? Like nobody knows your real existence. You're known as Mofo, the guy in Jeeves' YouTube chat. Think about your reputation. That's what your title is. As of right now, the only exposure you have in the world is you're known as Mofo, the guy who's in Jeeves' YouTube chat getting roasted. You have no one else fucking knows you besides that. No one knows you exist. No one cares. No one cares. The only little bit of attention and fame and energy you're getting is right now from my YouTube chat. So keep that in mind as you're sitting in those dirty ass fucking yellow and brown Fruit of Looms. Fruit of Looms, I don't know why that's so funny. I don't block anybody, man. I don't like to block people. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know why Fruit of Looms came to my head. You guys remember those Fruit of Loom, the tight underwear? I'm not talking about the boxer briefs. I'm talking about those tight underwear. Okay, let's look at GJ. Let's zoom out here. GJ hourly still bullish, structure still bullish, strong rejection wick. Hourly candle already made a lower wick. Now what we need is this candle. Now what we need is a break above the order block highs here, okay? If we get a break above here, hopefully through into Asian session close. Asian session ended an hour earlier. No, that's Japan. Brendan, man. Your last name is what are you, Vietnamese? You're Asian, man. You should know that the Asian region has several countries in it. No help. That's why you'll call them the refugees. I didn't make that up. You think I made up refugees? The fucking YouTube chat made that up. They started calling themselves refugees. Just like Rakil's chat is proud to be the gulag. You think I made that up? We're just joking around. Yeah, GJ, we still need the clean break above there. I think EU is going to give us a possible nether entry because the US dollar, in my opinion, is still relatively flat. So if EU comes back to this key level again, yeah, bro, you think I call people the refugees to like demean them? It's just a joke with the chat. It's just another name instead of the chat because chat is like calling the chat is like a little boring, you know? Yeah, yeah. Remember I let the chat vote. I was like, hey guys, what do you guys want me to call you guys? And these guys said the refugees. I was like, fuck, that's jokes. Okay, US30 is going to give us that deeper pullback we're talking about. GJ, we still need to break above the 5-6 area. He's seeking attention. Stop giving it. It's all right, man. Sometimes you gotta feed the trolls. Until you stop. This guy who hates the private chat and who doesn't like me just said, until you stop the stream, I will never stop coming. Fuck, bro. Fuck, man. Dang, that's dedication. This. Holy. Of Avond King, good question. So these, not besides these white lines, these white lines like on gold or on GJ, the hard white lines, they are based on higher time frame historical price points based on the yearly, quarterly, and 1 month charts and time frames. Because the higher the time frame and more historical validation behind the level, the more potential reaction you're going to get in current times and current price action. So these price levels on gold we've been using for like a year, longer than a year. You know what I mean? Man said, call all of your private members to come here and say the truth. Yo, private members, can some of you guys go to the YouTube chat and fucking tell them the truth about like this whole scam? Could you put the private chat in view? This is just a Zoom chat. The private chat is this. The private chat is this, like where we do all this webinars. Oh, Zoom chat? Yeah, Zoom chat's right here. I can't make it any bigger though. Like if I'm like the text won't get bigger. Just the window will get bigger. You know what I mean? If you wanna. What the hell? Sorry, my screen froze there. All right, let's get this shit out of the way. Yeah, you guys like that you guys like that fuck your Fruit of Looms, eh? With the fat sweaty titties. That was a good combination. That was a straight this guy came in. I was like, buddy, here we go. Fucking ducked his first blow, came in, uppercut, right hook, fucking knockout. With the Fruit of Loom to the sweaty titties. That was a nice combination. Man, this was a slower London session, eh, guys? Yeah, I'm thinking gold with the new hourly candle, like we were talking about, is gonna give us that pullback. Like these buys from 1840 played out nice, but um, volume and volatility has been fairly slow over London session. Asian and New York's been given some higher impact moves so far, besides yesterday. But obviously we didn't get the save confirms of a nice support being created. We got some rejections here, and just with the timing of when we approached 1844, we had the new hourly candle coming up, so we had higher potential for pullback. It was best to wait. The best entries were if you got in at 1836 way before, if we would have got that 1836 retest, or this entry at 1841 break to the next range. But that was a very strong impulsive entry. Like if you didn't catch that in the minute, you wouldn't have got it, but that's okay. Other than that, EU gave us that 15 pip buy scalp. The EU trade was smooth for a scalp. That was pretty smooth. The breakout entry or the break and retest. Mofo, how could I go check if you were in the private chat if I don't know your name, bro? Like, what do you want me to search? Mofo? There's nobody here named Mofo that I talk to, man. Sorry. I can't check if I don't. You think I know your real name from your fucking YouTube fucking mofo YouTube ID? You come in the chat name mofo. How the fuck am I supposed to know who you are? Your full name. That's what I was telling you. Send me your Telegram username. Yeah, the EU buy entry was 1.21 flat for the scalp buys that we took, as because the dollar was relatively weak. Like the dollar had this downside move overnight, as you guys can see. The same time, global equities were still holding their bullish structure. When you look at like the German DAX, still holding the bulls, and of course Euro USD was still respecting. Sorry, Euro USD was still respecting this lower time frame bullish structure, and we had no confirms for safe sells as we respected this structure, came above these 1 minute highs, and got the break and retest at the key level to at least retest this previous higher time frame intraday bearish market structure, and we took that 15 pip squeeze. 1770 GJA, that was my target on the higher time frame for buys, jaw, on gold, but I'm not sure if we're gonna make it down there again, just with the current bullish intraday structure. But that was my higher time frame target, from sells below 1850 to go to 1770 and then look for buys there. But we had that start of the week, that impulsive spike, and it went to 1803, 1800 flat, and it seems like that was the buy liquidity grab setup, because we've had bullish structure since on gold. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if we're gonna go all the way back down. The hell is this? Oh, GJ's just messing around. You can see we haven't had any significant breaks of the highs to take safer buys. Um, we were getting the potential pullback, but we haven't had even a significant pullback to react at 0.200 buys. Yo, mama, may I get roasted too? No, man, I don't roast people just for no reason. We want to be mindful of some of the headlines to the left that could possibly impact Euro USD in the short term. Just the EU commissioner still talking about the COVID recovery plan needing improvement. Check gold. Gold. We're either waiting for more gold during London. We had this analysis that either we were going to get a pullback to 1836 for buys if we continue to respect it, or we were going to wait for the pullback or consolidation and a break above 1841 buys. You can see we got that squeeze from medium zone to medium zone. The safer buys we were looking for to continue the ride up would be if we had a clean break above 1844, 1845 level here. You can see we started to get some rejection and exhaustion in the new hourly candle. We were expecting at 4 a.m. Eastern now for a deeper pullback. So now we're only going to be looking for gold buys if we have a clean break and retest above 1844 on the 1 minute, or if we come back down again to 1840.5, fail to break, create a support, and then further buys again. Like, these are the execution points we're looking for. After that impulsive move, there hasn't been too much action overnight. London volume and volatility has been particularly slower and lower, as there weren't any economic events overnight to really focus on. And of course, some of these key fundamental points, a lot of the vaccine headlines have been priced in. A lot of the stimulus talks for the US have been priced in. We haven't had really any new fundamental catalysts come into play. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep an eye on your headlines to the left. What time is it right now? 4 a.m. Eastern. At 5 a.m. Eastern, we have some German economic sentiment data. So just watch that, which can possibly, if EU comes down and, like we said here, creates another support, and that German economic data is particularly good, which I think it might be, we have strong potential for another scalp trade right back to these 1 minute highs and potentially continue higher if we break above that bearish structure. Mr. PZ, during the 2019 period in Capital Hungary, we were trading economic data report releases, such as like retail sales report for the UK or a CPI figure for Australia, etc., etc. But as the pandemic markets hit the scene, a lot of economic data reports were not having as high impact as they used to, because it was already assumed and priced in that all the economic data was going to be very poor due to the impact of the macro catalyst being the pandemic. Okay, so yes, during the 2019 period, I would say we traded those economic data reports, like for example, retail sales, inflation, NFP. Remember when NFP used to have such high impact before COVID markets? Because that was what investors were focusing on to dictate the potential value of a currency, was the economic data of that correlated country, right? So let's just say you had GJ on a bull trend. If GJ is also having continuously good economic data, that's more catalyst and validation to continue the GJ buys, right? But as soon as the COVID hit the market and you had economies enter a lockdown around the world, this economic data impact was being faded out because it was already assumed that all the inflation figures, that retail sales, that jobs data, that all these different pieces of economic data was going to be in the shitter because of the pandemic leading to a lockdown. So you can see that over the last year, figures such as NFP or figures such as like inflation, CPI, or retail sales haven't had as much of an impact as they used to during pre-pandemic markets, if you guys have noticed that. So during the 2020 period, we've primarily been focusing on the left side of the screen, which is your reactive headlines, as the investor focus and smart money focus has been on, from like March 2020, it was the all we were focusing on were Brexit headlines, lockdown headlines, vaccine headlines, COVID headlines, right? That's what investors were focusing on. Our case is getting worse. Our economy's in lockdown. Okay, if so, let's keep our money in gold. Let's keep our money in the safe haven currencies. And then as you had central banks jump in and start supporting their respected economies, and you had the COVID fears priced in, you had all of those dips bought up on the equity markets, and you had optimism coming to the scene. We've had the focus on all these vaccine talks. We've had the focus on economic stimulus plans. We've had the focus on economy starting to open back up, right? So we in Capital Hungary in 2020 have been more trading the reactive economic news, the political news, the pandemic news, the economic news, compared to 2019 when we were more focused on the economic data. It doesn't mean we don't still watch the economic data reports and use this information, but it hasn't had as much of an impact compared to pre-pandemic markets, which makes sense, right? Does that make sense to everybody? That was a good question though. Because usually to retail traders, news, I got quotation marks. I'll get a face cam. You guys can't see me. I got quotation marks. News. They see news as the economic data reports. Like for just technical traders, NFP is news. NFP to me isn't news. NFP is a pre-planned economic data report release at the same time every month, every week. You get what I'm saying? Those are pre-planned economic data reports. News is, as it says in the word, something that is not pre-planned, something that is reactive, something that is new information, news. So reactive news headlines are different than the economic data reports, but most technical and retail traders group them together as one, or group them like it's better to separate it because they have individual impacting factors. You could have economic data that's good, but it's being like, for example, GBP in the UK. Let's just talk about a fake scenario here. UK could have a good retail sales report, which is a positive, but then have extremely bad Brexit news, which is Brexit. A headline regarding Brexit isn't pre-planned. It's not known that Brexit headline is going to come out at 8:30 at this time. You get what I'm saying? That's reactive, a news headline that's going to impact the economy based on a political economic standpoint, that there's some bad Brexit headline. Exactly. You can use price action and market structure alongside the news sentiment to have more confidence and probability in a trade. If you have Brexit deals going on and more optimism with Brexit, if you have bullish structure on GJ, if you have more bullish price action, and you can say, hey man, UK equity markets are still overall bullish, even though it's having some exhaustion here, still overall bullish. US dollar and JPY are still flat. I got more confidence to wait for pullbacks or breaks of highs to look for GBPJPY buys. That's exactly why that yes, GJ is consolidating. Yes, GJ can sell off and have a pullback, but our bias structure is bullish. So I would rather wait for the safe buys or the pullback buys and play with the trend in the investor sentiment. Okay? US30, similar idea where the higher time frames are bullish, market optimism is stronger, global equity markets overall are stronger due to that market optimism, and you can see on the lower time frames that corrective bearish structure from the all-time highs, which is the reaction of buyers closing off positions. You can see that we have broke out of that bearish structure and started to create bullish structure and validated the 30.750 higher time frame key level support. All right. The white lines are drawn based on yearly, quarterly, and 1 month candle conjunction periods and points on the higher time frame, because these higher time frame periods have significance in the economic world, the fiscal year, the quarterly periods, Q1 to Q4, and the end of month and start of month periods. But anyways, so for US30, with how we've had a break of this bear structure, the higher time frame, if you zoomed out and looked at like the 4 hour, 1 hour, daily, all bullish. We haven't had a break of previous lows. We're seeing a support created above 30.748. You can see the bullish structure being formed where I'm looking for a pullback to 30.900 flat, support formed in buys back up to previous highs, or a consolidation stage and then a clean break and retest above 31K buys. So primarily on US30, as long as we maintain above 3,900, I am in a bullish bias, looking for the reaction at that lower time frame bullish structure for execution points. The white lines are levels based on historical price points on the yearly, quarterly, and 1 month that still have great reactions in recent price action, because history's always repeating. Euro USD, anybody take another high risk scalp buy at the 1.21 quick 1 minute retest? Don't keep in mind that we still have the German economic sentiment data in 35 minutes. Just a quick scalp. Keep it risk free. If you did get that retest entry, we're still just playing around in this range. You know what I mean? Yeah, nothing crazy. Gold coming back above 1844 after creating this little minor order block here. Let's just see if we have enough order flow and liquidity after that hourly candle also just created a lower wick here. At least this hour, we had a very strong bullish candle close, support formed, correction of this upside move, dollar is flat. So if we can remain above 1844, we should see a mirror of this downside move and a continuation up to 1850s, 1852. But just watch the price action and keep in mind that we're coming towards a 30-minute candle close in 4 minutes, as well as Asian session, China market close at 5 a.m. Eastern, and new 4-hour candles across most brokers. But just watch that we have a clean break above here. GJ as well, it's still ranging. The thing about GJ is, as the structure is bullish, GJ can range for the next period of 5 hours, 6 hours. And then as long as it doesn't break previous lows, this is all validated as buyer side liquidity for another squeeze and impulse to the upside to revisit those intraday highs. Okay. All right. So just keep in mind that GJ, even though it's ranging, even though GU it's starting to range here, GU is still maintaining the lower time frame bullish market structure. Dollar still flat, higher time frame still bullish, and it can consolidate between these 1 minute highs and lows. But as long as it doesn't break the lows, it's still validated as buy side liquidity. And GU now is starting to potentially test the highs. So we're still waiting for these GU safe buys above the 1 minute highs for that 30 pip range to the upside, 30, 40 pips up. So keep an eye on that as well. Dollar still relatively flat in my opinion. Dollar's continuing bearish after making that upper wick right now. Global stock markets are still bullish. And when we're looking at the headlines, now we have some UK. Oh, beauty, beauty. Will do. So when we look at these headlines, we're just having some headlines about UK's Hancock says we'll be staying at home and not leaving at all until Sunday. Just talking about self-isolating and shit like that. But fuck this guy. We're still looking for our GJ buys and GU buys. No, man, I'm not streaming all day. What do you think I am? I actually gotta take a shit right now. Fucking coffee. I only started drinking coffee recently. When I come back, Luke, I will look at AUD USD. You sound like such a waste you. You know what sounds like a waste you? Calling somebody a waste you. That's what sounds like a waste you. People who talk like that. Oh, I did use creamer. Man, stomach is bubbling. But yeah, I'll be right back. We're still watching these same trade ideas: gold, GJ, EU, US30. Oh shit, man. Man had to clear out the system, you know? We got Monty in here. Let's trade with Monty one. Oh, man's on a break again. Oh, you talk about me, eh? Listen, I already made my racks this week. I can take as many breaks as I wish. Oh, oh man, I feel great. I feel great after that. You know one of those. You know what I'm talking about. You know one of those. There's one of those. Oh shit, sorry, Zoom chat too. All right, what time is it right now? 4:40 a.m. Eastern. Gold still hovering around 1844. GJ are still waiting for the break above these 1 minute highs for the squeeze to 0.800. My trades, I didn't take anything tonight or the day. The trades I took, you can see in the Capital Hungry analysis chat here, like I was showing at the start of the stream. Oof. Monty's our boy. Monty's our boy. I mean, and you can see the process in that. But I didn't take anything tonight. Asian session ran nice, like with the gold move and like GJ move. But other than that, London itself was pretty trash. You know. Still want GJ to break above and give that. You know, as soon as the stream ends, um, yeah, exactly. But you know, as soon as the stream ends, GJ's gonna rip it to 0.800. Gold's gonna rip it up. EU still active. EU went like straight back. Like for if anybody got another scalp, it went straight back to revisit these previous highs. If it breaks higher, you can extend those trades and look for more trades above these previous 1 minute highs and this bearish market structure we're looking at, right? GJ, not much. Gold, still fucking around at 1844. Hash brown says sell. Yo, who's hash brown? Oh, you're hash brown. Why'd you talk in third person? Why don't you say, hey, I think I want to sell EURUSD. Some man came in the YouTube chat named Hash Brown. He said he talked in third person. He's like, Hash Brown says sell EURUSD. He probably got fucking bullied in school. Talk. Check my Telegram. Oh, Luke. Yeah, you know what I like about this is that this is the 30-minute chart. Very strong higher time frame level you got marked out, and if you were to zoom out on AUD USD, and let's just say you went to like the 4 hour chart, you would still see that it's a bullish structure, and this was an intraday high that was created, like a new high. So you can see we had this corrective structure and pullback phase, a support created, and now had a cleaner break out of that bearish structure with a potential. If we get a double bottom formed here or start to form bullish structure like you have, we're going to continue up with the higher time frame trend, like and potentially revisit these previous highs as long as the US dollar remains bearish though. Okay, if the US dollar remains bearish and we fail to break these previous price sensitivity area and remain above this bearish structure and continue to respect the higher time frame bullish structure, this is a potential great trade setup. Nice, I like that. I like it. Nice clean chart. I'm primarily looking at it in that sense. Like we're starting to form that bullish structure. We had a break out of this corrective bear structure, that daily level respected. GU's teasing. GU is teasing. Gold. I don't want to say anything because if I say it, it's not going to do anything. So let's just let it do it. But obviously, it's just been in, gold's just been in this range all night from about 42 to 44. Obviously, after this little impulsive move, we had this little impulsive squeeze. GJ starting to create a support at 0.500 flat, but still. Your son sold GUGG. Your son. Nice. Very nice. Holy man. Is this the buster? Is this the nut buster on gold? No, this shit, never mind. Just stopped right here. I thought it was idea on GU 5-minute. See, fuck, man. This one don't say anything, man. I shouldn't have said shit. Fuck, it should have said anything. New 15-minute candles as well. Asians, China markets closing in 15 minutes as well. It's not looking so hot. It's not looking so hot. Yeah, for GU, that's what we're looking for as well. We're watching that on the 1-minute here. It's still respecting this lower time frame bullish market structure, as you can see here. And similar idea had a break out of bearish market structure using some medium-term zones of support, respecting structure. If we break above these highs, we're looking to take 30 to 40 pips up to 1.365 as long as the dollar breaks. But we need a clean break and retest right here above 1.3615. Yeah, gold doing a deeper pullback. GJ still fucking around. New 50-minute on GJ looks like it is the new 50-minute on gold. Sorry, if it breaks these candle body lows, it is going to do a more aggressive pullback. All right, so just keep that in mind. GJ's just playing in this range all night. Trade idea: possible institutional candle sell on EJ. Nick, what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Explain. Explain to the chat. Explain to us. What the fuck is an institutional candle? What is that? Was it look different? Yeah, man just pulled that shit straight out of his ass. Man really pulled that shit straight out of his ass. Man really said, I'm about to sound so smart in this YouTube stream. Look, wait till I type this out. He said, and you came out with that. So yeah, now you have to explain because it's late. The markets are ranging. We need entertainment. Explain to us what an institutional candle is. Really? You have not listened to institutional candles? Okay, I guess not. Can you share with us? What's the institutional candle? Like what does that mean on EJ? Which one's the let's pull up EJ here. What time frame is the institutional candles on, huh? Let's go here. Man, whoa. Man said sell. When did you sell? Bro, I don't think any institutions since May have been selling fucking EJ, man. Just to like, you know what I mean? Just to show you here. Yeah, here comes see how gold's coming down deeper to revisit those candle body lows for that new 15-minute candle. If it breaks there, it's gonna dig deeper. Otherwise, that was just again making a lower wick, and then gold just continuing to range in this like 20 pip range. Right. All right. So which one? When the banks hedges and holds a buy in a downtrend, bro, you spell buy wrong. You spell buy BYE like goodbye. And you're trying to talk about institutional candles, and you can't even spell the word buy. So which one is the institutional candle? This one? What bank is this candle? Goldman Sachs? Is this Goldman's candle? This one's which institutional candle is this? You and the F word are friends? What's that mean? That I use the F word a lot? Is the news from TradingView? No, it's from a news terminal. Hash Brown says you're a perfectionist. Hash Brown, why do you keep talking in third person? Oh man, here comes yeah. See gold right back down, right back down to the order block low. Didn't even break either. Just like sitting right there again. Here it go. So no safe buys, obviously above 1844. GJ, we're still waiting to do something as well. This time, don't listen to me because I am buy. Bro, you spelled buy wrong twice. First time you spelled it BYE. Next time you spelled it BY. At least spell the word buy correctly. Oh, you're not using the keyboard. Oh. No, I'm right here. I'm just replying to some messages. There's nothing to talk about, man. We're waiting for GJ to push up. We're waiting for gold to break 1844, which it looks like it could do now after that 15-minute came to retest these candle body lows and failed to break. I'm just replying to an email here quickly, and we have Asian session closed in 7 minutes. New 4-hour candle. All right, just have to answer that email. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like gold's just ranging up and down between these candle body highs and lows on the 1 minute for about the last 2 hours now. We've been watching it. Besides this impulsive move where we had this breakout scalp buy above 1841, which a lot of us didn't even get to execute on, just because we had this just because it was like a really a 1 minute entry candle there. Other than that, we didn't get the 1836 better buys, and we haven't had a clean break above the 1844 area. We're looking at the lower time frames. GJ, same idea. It's planned for an extended period of even longer, for almost 8 hours now after that initial move at Asian. We can see that we have failed to break above these 1 minute highs. The one thing is, our bullish bias is still holding in all of this. As long as these lows don't break, is still buyer side liquidity. Okay, so if we break above here, we can validate a nice squeeze to come and validate all this as buyer side liquidity in a buyer side order block. But obviously, if we fail to break these highs over and over again, we will eventually get that pullback to retest intraday bullish market structure. But for the last 8 hour period, intraday period, there hasn't been really anything significant to execute on GJ, as it's just been in this lower time frame range. Last few hours on gold here. Asian session closes when London opens. Doesn't make any sense, man. Why do you guys not know your like times, region times? China markets in China doesn't even open till 9 p.m. Eastern. And if that market runs for 8 hours, just like any other market, when would that close? What time would that close? Oh no, sorry, that's 10. Wait, what's first? It runs for 10 hours. First is Australia, 5 6 p.m. whatever. Then is Korea. Then is Japan. Then is China and India, because the Asian markets, all within about a 4 to 6 hour window, you have these different regions in Asia opening up. All right, the Asian markets is a multiple countries that make it up, not just like Tokyo open. Yeah, Tokyo closed. Yeah, yeah. Tokyo closes at the end of Asian session. Cali, that has got to Cali for somebody who has been in the YouTube chat. That has got to be the most retarded fucking thing I've ever said. Just because people don't trade the Chinese yuan or rupee doesn't mean you don't have multiple banks in China or banks in India that are trading every other currency or every other trading instrument just like any other bank around the world. The point of a session isn't that there's going to be more trades on like when you have London session. Yes, there's higher potential to get more volatility or volume on euro or on GBP, but every single currency is still moving over the night. Banks don't trade. Banks in the UK aren't just trading GBP. Banks in China aren't just trading the yuan. Banks in India are not just trading the rupee, Indian rupee. They're still having transactions and interactions with other global banks and trading the market just like any other bank. So the volume and volatility comes from these participants active in the markets during those session hours. So even though people might not be trading the Indian rupee, there's still a lot of volume and volatility that comes from the Indian session in all of those banks and all of those trades. New 4 hour candle on GJ doesn't have a lower wick yet, so I wouldn't start jumping in buys willy nilly just yet. New 4 hour candles. Asian session closed in 10 minutes. Germany's zoo economic data is good. Like I told you guys, it'd be good. It's better than the poll and it's better than previous. Their economic conditions are also improving, better than the poll and better than the previous. The only thing is, I can see the hourly candle still making a lower wick in the new 4 hour candle, then continuing up. But those EU buys played out well. You know what I mean? GJ, new 4 hour candle, did it make a lower wick at least? No, it did not yet still. That's the only thing I'm iffy about when you guys zoom out on the intraday charts, that this is a fresh intraday 4 hour candle. And we had a previous fairly weak close here. So don't be surprised if we get a pullback, then continuation up. But does that make sense about the sessions? It's not like, you know what I mean, Callie? That's why you didn't want to reply what country you're from, because when you looked at it from that logic, then you feel stupid. But it's all good. Yeah, like even Europe, right? Even like everyone calls it London session because a lot of people primarily trade GBP pairs, but it's taken with the Europe itself, like the Euronext Stock Exchange, United Kingdom, Germany, even Russia Moscow Exchange is included in the Eurozone region, Spain, Italy. You get what I'm saying? Here it goes now, GJ, finally. But still, fuck it, man. After all that, it's not even anything worth like too crazy or worth it. And it's right at Asian session close too. It's not even anything that crazy, to be honest. Trust me. What's gold doing? Gold's still ranging, right? Asian market hours. You have South Korea, India, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Japan, and then India. India is like runs till like 6 a.m. Eastern. You know what I mean? So all the Asian markets overall pretty much close around this time in the next hour. What's that news coming out tomorrow? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Fed? The Fed tomorrow's Wednesday, right? The Fed monetary statement. Callie, you're not fucking understanding. It doesn't matter if they're small markets, big markets. There's still the whole entire country that is active during that time, man. God damn. People sometimes, like, you know what I mean? I like coming on here providing value. I like providing analysis. I like sharing trade ideas. But fuck, man, sometimes people's retardation fucking next level. Has nothing to do with the size of the stock market, man. I'm just telling you that that entire country's market is still open. That's it. It's nothing to do with like anything else. No, I didn't take anything. Holy, fucking ripped it. What the fuck, man? Shit just went off. I just looked down and looked up. Shit went off my screen. Yeah, GJ straight clap. Didn't I say that GJ was gonna fuck around and then strike right when the stream's gonna end? At like Asian session close, it'll fucking just rip it up. 4 hours doesn't have a lower wick still. It just ripped it up. Yeah, this always happens. We'll do the analysis. We'll be chilling through the entire stream. Gold's still respecting that order block, but it's just ranging still. You know what I mean? Yeah, wait like 3 4 hours for this little move of 20 pips now. It's not even a full 20 pips yet. Almost though. On the 1 minute, it looks crazy, right? 1 minute looks like 100 pips right there. Oh yeah, that means GU is finally starting to give this trade as well, eh? It's about 10 15 pips up. EU should be continuing up. Anybody still hold their EU trades or their EU runners? Slow night, but at least we got something. You know what I mean? Is capital hungry Jeevan? Yes, correct. Good analysis. Yeah, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, yes. Thank you, Mr. TB Sydney. I didn't trade anything. I made my money early in the week. I wasn't even gonna trade anyways. If you guys want to see the trades I took early in the week on gold, Capital Hungry is a roaster team. These streams, these free streams on YouTube, are every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30 a.m. Eastern start time before German markets open to start doing analysis on gold, GJ, Euro USD, US30, US30, and these other pairs that we were looking at, as well as like investor behavior, economic data, and everything else. And and then we run until like Asian session close. Like where the stream's coming to an end shortly. It runs for about 3-4 hours. You can see those on the Twitter. I show you right here too. So when gold at the start of the week had those crazy impulsive moves, right? So gold did this heavy impulsive break on the 1 minute. It respected the key levels as it broke below 1820. I took the sells down to 1812. That was the first trade I took, which was here. You know what I mean? So I made 5,000 on that first trade setup, multiple positions at that entry. Then as gold failed to break 1812, I set up this play looking for a support created at 1812 and buys back up to 1820. I scalped those buys back up and made another $4,000 after that. Then after that, gold started to enter a corrective state and just played bullish structure. So I primarily continued to scalp buys throughout the night and ended up making 13K. The biggest loss at that point, like as per risk management, the biggest loss was $900. Like these are the losses like 200, 200, 300, 300, 400, 750, 900. And the biggest win was like 4.5K, 2K, 2K, 1.7K. So like obviously I took losses. Everybody takes losses, but I had very solid emotional control to not like extend losing trades and let those hit stop loss and like stay emotionally neutral and milk out the winning trades to some extent. I should have let these winning trades run a lot, like run to the full TPs, but I manually closed them early. One thing you can notice about me, is I let the losing trades hit stop loss, but I don't let my winning trades hit TP. So you can see that. And then those are more, this is how I was scalping the buys, like at 1836. And then I closed the week off here with 15K, just trading and scalping gold. These are the whole list of trades, like when I do a scroll capture. I took another like $900 loss, but other than that, you can read through all the trades, check the prices, the times, the live stamp. I'm going to slap the fuck out of you, Jeevan, when I see you, fuck boy. Best live. Stop lying, demo trader. All right, bro. Message me one-on-one and let me know when you want to meet up then. Otherwise, stop talking behind a screen. Sitting in your fucking Fruit of Looms, fat, sweaty ass titties in my YouTube chat, typing away on your fucking keyboard on a free stream. No. Usually I play with a 10. Usually I play with the fucking 10 to 20 pip stop loss on gold as I enter primarily on the 1 minute time frame. But yeah, you guys can see all those trades there, the analysis, etc., etc., etc. Okay, everybody. So the stream has been running. Okay, everybody. The stream has been running for almost 3.5, 4 hours. Coming up here, all right. I'm going to be ending this shortly as we're coming towards the pre-New York hours. We did full fundamental and technical analysis on gold, GJ, Euro USD, GBP USD, investor behavior, etc., etc. Same trade ideas and analysis. Still, I was still a little early on that institutional candle. You're soft as fuck. You talk shit and hide behind a keyboard. Stunna Jam. If you message me one on one on Telegram at JC Capital, and you show me exactly what you look like, I will tell you exactly where I live, and you can come over. I'll blur the address on the public stream, but yeah, like I don't know if you know this, but I used to have like 30,000 followers on IG. Everybody knows what I look like. Everybody, I'm the one who's doing the YouTube stream here. I'm the one who's providing all the content. Gold just fucking ranging, man. It's so ugly. This guy, yeah. Calm down. I'm calm. I don't know if you noticed. I made 15K. I'm as calm as calm and cool as a cucumber. You're a little kid. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You guys be following Instagram traders who don't even show you that it's a live account, who don't even show you their losses, who don't even show you every trade they took, who don't even show you charts or analysis, who don't even give you guys any content. But everybody's so mad at me. Why are you guys all so angry at me? Is it jealousy? Is it hatred against yourself? Like, why are you so mad at me? Why are you so angry at me? Trade for grow. I'll show you all. Check my channel on YouTube. You're not the only one here, 10 pips trader. All right, bro. I'm bored. All right, trade for grow. You're you're the one. You're the one who said your son was taking trades, right? Yeah, the 15K hit you guys hard. I guess. Okay, so this guy. Let's see. Trade for grow. First thing here, 90% win rate. Check my signals out. But let's check out your channel, Mr. Trade for Grow. Mr. Trade for Grow. I'm going to subscribe to you, my friend. Even though you don't like me, I'm going to support you. You need some help here, all right? Let's see what you got going on. Holy, oh, wait, how long are these? Oh, these are, why are these only 3 minutes long, some of these videos, my friend? Oh, some of your clips are only 30 seconds long. All right, my friend. I'm gonna put the volume on. I just started new channel. No, you didn't, bro. You started this 2 months ago. What do you mean started new channel? All right, where do you want us to look for? Which video do you recommend us to watch? Which one should we watch? Should we watch one of your recent ones? Bro, you gotta stop up. You gotta delete these. You gotta delete these 10-second uploads to clean up your channel. You know, like some of these 9-minute videos. If you're not doing anything, like, are you talking about anything here? Oh fuck, bro! What the fuck is this, a club? Bro, what the fuck is this shit? Alright, bro. Garbage ass fucking music. Alright. Bro, you didn't speak. You didn't speak in this one, so let's go to this one. How'd you go from? How come some accounts you have 5,000, and how come other accounts you got 300,000? How come you don't? How come if you're showing your terminal, but you cut off the tag at the top? Like how come? How come like this video over here? How come this video over here like 150,000 euro, right? This is euro 80,000. This one's like randomly. This one's GBP. This one's GBP 350,000. How am I bullying this guy? I just gave this guy a fucking subscriber. And I'm giving him clout right now. What do you mean? I didn't even say anything bad. I'm giving advice. Yeah, but yo, do you talk in any of these? You have to tell people what you're gonna do, you know? My advice? You know, cut out the music and like talk about why you're gonna take these trades or what you're doing. You know what I mean? You want me to check your Telegram? Bro, I'm on Telegram right now. Stunna Jam right here. This is Telegram. Yeah, but if you want these to get more views and more exposure, then you're gonna have to provide some value and content. All right? Like if you're trying to, you know what you get what I'm saying? Like if you want these to get more views, then you have to like actually provide people with like, hey, this is why I'm taking the trade, this is what I'm looking at. Because otherwise, it's. Are you guys arguing with me or with some of each other in the chat there? Are you guys mad at me for it? The fuck? I didn't even talk shit about this guy. Why are you guys so angry? Who's this? Is this you? Is this the guy? Is this the guy who's hating on me? You sent me a heart. Uh-huh. No guy named fucking Sanyam Kumar Singh is gonna touch me or do shit to me. I'll tell you that right now. Fucking snap your neck. Yeah, we got. Oh, never mind. This is a nice guy. Said mera yard. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that was an. Thank you for sharing your channel, Mr. Trade for Grow. It's a nice start. I like the effort you're putting in. My advice is just to cancel out the music and share some more information about what you're doing. You know. Why do you keep saying? Why do you keep saying you messaged me, Stunna Jam, when you didn't? Like everybody on the chat, everybody on the YouTube can see my Telegram messages right now. Stop trying to be tough for no reason. Stop trying to be tough on a financial market stream. It just doesn't work, you know? You're coming in with this tough attitude on a stream where I'm trying to give people information about the markets, and you're coming in with this tough attitude, all angry and heated, like I fucking stole something from you. GJ, same analysis still stands. You can always rewatch this, but guys, anyways, the banter was fun. Trade for Grow, I got your message. The banter was fun. Markets were slow over London. The analysis was still good. We're just fucking around now towards the end of the stream. I appreciate you guys all coming here, watching. All right. I'll see you guys on Thursday if whoever wants to come. I'll see you all later. Thank you for coming. It's already been 3, coming up to 4 hours now. You know what I mean? Since the stream has been running. I'm getting tired. Markets were fairly slow overnight. Yeah, everybody take care. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Nick, thank you. Nick, thank you for clearing it up about the institutional candle before I leave. Thanks. Appreciate it. I appreciate you clearing that up. Clearing the air. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man. All right, Zoom chat. I'll see you guys later. I'll be doing some market update webinars later. Gold and GJ, fairly messy overnight. Please make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this around.